Oh,
Should be good now. I hope your mic is fixed. The mic there. I'm trying to close another thing out. Just give it a second. I want to see if it starts dropping frames again or not. It's not showing I'm using a whole bunch of RAM. I wonder if it's just my internet dropping up and down maybe.
it could be.
I mean, it shows I'm using 34% RAM right now.
Can you say you don't have anything else that's in the background?
I just closed out that one sound mod app, so maybe it is that. I don't know. I'll have to play with it another day. All right, bringing it up. What is good, everybody? Welcome back to Real Fan Sports. My name is Zach, here with my partner, Nonpfixion. What's good with you, Non?
What's good? What's good? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. Are you ready for football, bro? Like we already got the Thursday Hall of Fame game out the way. We had the weekend break, which I can't stand, by the way. Like, do you know how, like, against that? Like they try to tease us. They want to tease us with a crappy Hall of Fame game in Cleveland. And then they're going to give us a whole week break till we get to see more football again? Like a whole 10 days? It's ridiculous.
I mean, there is football on right now.
Is there a game on right now? I didn't even know there was a game on right now. That's how out of sync I've been
I didn't
today.
either. I didn't either until I was looking at some stuff and I saw Houston Texans at New England.
No kidding. I'm having a audio issue. I wonder if it's my headphones are going out. Let me try to switch my headphones. Maybe that's the problem that I'm having, because I'm seeing you're still getting sound on the stream, but I'm not hearing you. So let me switch these headsets up real fast and see if that'll fix this issue
I'm a
that
mute
I'm having.
to check the sound too.
Okay. I wonder if it's gonna be that. Let's see. Can you hear me? There. I think I picked the right set.
Okay, yes, it's sound playing for both of us.
Okay, yeah, it was just my earbuds then. Whatever. All right. Well, like we said last week, it wouldn't be a RFS stream if we didn't have a little technical difficulties to start the stream off with. But who's playing right now? I didn't even check.
Texans at New England.
Texans at New England? Oh, man, goodness. Yeah. Well, good to see Texans are putting a butt whooping on the Patriots. Before we get into this tier list, dude, like I was watching some videos of some other people that did their tier lists for the NFL, like what we're going to be doing today, ranking them and trying to predict where they're going to fit as far as how many wins they're going to get this season. And they had so many people, like, talking crap about this one guy because he put the Patriots at only getting no more than 7 wins, and they were like, "Are you crazy? They're definitely getting more than 7." And I'm like, "Have y'all not been watching what's been going down the last 2 years? Like, this ain't Tom Brady's Patriots no more. Like, this is Mac Jones and a Belichick that I think is pretty much out the door already, and they're worried about thinking they're going to get like 10 wins this season." Like, I know I'm delusional, but Jesus.
10 wins, but I mean, I think if they run Mac Jones, and Zippy at the same time, they'll probably get 6.
Oh yeah, Zappy is it Zippy or Zappy?
I don't know. It's one of the two.
It's one of the Zippy Zappy.
It's a comic book sound. I know that.
That's exactly what it is. But shoot, man, who do y'all play? Who's y'all's first week 1 preseason matchup?
I have no idea. I haven't even looked into it.
That's just
because I
how
just have
unchecked you've been dealing with, though.
I haven't really been invested into it right now because I'm just not happy with the situation. And that's like the God's honest truth. Just not happy with it.
I mean, I understand that completely. Yeah, we're going up against the Chiefs, which actually is going to be a somewhat good preseason game for the Saints just because of it being so new with a new quarterback with Derek Carr.
Hmm.
They're actually going to go ahead and get some first string reps. They said the first string is going to go ahead and play about 15 snaps. Second string is going to do about 25, and then the third string will play the rest. So we might see, I think if we see a touchdown drive like right off the bat, they might go ahead and pull them. But I mean, it's possible we
Yeah.
could see two drives with the starters, and then we'll take a look at the second string and see how Jameis Winston's doing. So I mean, even though Carr's the obvious starting choice, watching Jameis
Hmm.
play as in the second string ain't really a bad deal either. I mean, he used to start in the league, so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting. We'll see how all that goes.
I mean, so just from what I look at right now, our first preseason game is the Niners. They're practicing with the Niners right now. I did hear that Garoppolo actually looks pretty good against the Niners and scored some touchdowns against the Niners.
Oh, no kidding!
Against the Niners first string defense.
Wow. Hey, that's cool.
Yeah,
Wait.
I
So
did read
y'all,
that.
so y'all practiced against the Niners, and then y'all are playing them week 1 too. What kind of sense does that make?
They're the first preseason game.
Yeah, yeah. Well, because I know like most teams have like their one practice with another team. They have their joint practice, but I didn't know they normally practiced against them and then also played against them for first
Raiders
preseason.
have
That's
done that
kind of weird.
multiple times.
Really?
Raiders
Have
have done
they?
that a lot. Yeah.
Oh,
They,
that's
they,
great. See,
they've done that against they do it against the Cowboys. They've done it against the Niners a couple of times. The Cowboys a few times. It's usually the Niners or the Cowboys that they do it against.
I gotcha. Yeah, because whenever it used to be for the Saints, we used to practice with the Chargers. We did that for a bit,
Mhm.
and then it would either be like Chargers or Green Bay for the most part. This year it was Green Bay. I didn't really see too much news that came out about it. I'm sure it went well, but it'll be interesting to see how all this stuff goes. Yeah, I was about to check if that link worked too. All right, man. Well, let's go ahead and I guess we'll go ahead and get on into it. I was gonna wait and see comes and pop in. Well, I feel like all of our people pop in right at the end of the stream, just like they did last time.
That's what happened. Yeah, like last time.
Like last time, yeah. Well, let's go ahead and get on into it. We'll switch over to the reaction side of things. Pull up the chart, and this is what we're looking at as we rank the NFL teams for the 2023-2024 season. We're not going to do it S tier to F tier. We're going to go ahead and do it by win prediction. So we're going to have at the top 14 to 17 wins, just below that 10 to 13, then 7 and 9, then 4 and 6, and then 0 to 3 wins. You ready for it?
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking over some stuff real quick, but yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and look. We got first up Arizona Cardinals. Not a whole lot to say about them.
Yeah,
I
the
mean, can we
Cardinals.
just throw them in the trash like just to start it? I mean, three
I was gonna
wins is
say
not a
three
lot.
wins.
That's what I'm saying. Three, they might be able to stretch out to 4 or something like that. But the thing is, they just have their biggest bright point on their team right now is Kyler Murray, and that doesn't say a whole lot, especially with just all the rumors that's came out. They now lost DeAndre Hopkins. Their running backs are nonstop getting hurt and then coming back. Like, there's just nothing exciting. When I see Arizona Cardinals logo, I'm just kind of like, okay, like, okay, got it.
Yeah, the Cardinals, man, definitely going into a true rebuilding. they're rebuilding, so I wouldn't expect them to win more than 3 wins. I just wouldn't expect that at all.
I can't see it. And they got a new head coach too to add on top of it. Clinsbury is now coaching over at USC. So like, new coach, no wide receiver one, struggling to find an RB1, your QB1. We don't even know how dedicated he is. 0 to 3 wins. I think it's just is what it is.
Yeah.
Next up, we're gonna have the Atlanta Falcons. I'll let you take the reins on this one. What you think of the Falcons?
I think they'll have a great rushing attack this year. I think they'll
Without
have
a
an
doubt.
amazing,
Without a doubt.
a great rushing attack, especially with the addition of Bijan Robinson from Texas, University of Texas. Now, as far as like, I think what's the QB? Desmond Ritter. Is that his
Desmond
name?
Ritter. Yep. Old Cincy quarterback.
I don't
Cincy
know
College.
what I don't know what we're going to get from him when it comes to him being the leader of this new team. Even though I think there's parts of the team are kind of solid, it's not top tier solid, but good enough to get a few wins.
Yeah,
Now, how many wins? That's the question. That's the main question.
yeah.
And I'm going to say between 7 and 9.
Between 7 and 9.
To be honest,
I
yeah,
feel like our whole NFC South division can float in between there, except for the Bucks, really, because
yeah,
this is the thing with the Falcons. First off, we all forget. I mean, Desmond Ridder did look bad last year, but he didn't start all the games. And
true,
again, was kind of
true.
put into a tough situation. He. I think was he a rookie last year? I believe he was, and then he was
I
with
believe he was.
Drake London, who was a rookie. Kyle
Hmm.
Pitts, who at his second year, third year, whatever it is, they did finally found some type of identity in their run game, and then they added to it. There was some concerns during the draft whenever we watched that. We were both surprised, but at the same time, if you want to identify as a rushing attack until you can either wait for Ritter to develop or wait for there to be a time for you to go and try to grab a vet that's ready to move on and pay some big money towards them. I don't think it's a bad idea because a good run game is still going to win you games. Is it going to bring you deep into the
Oh
playoffs or
yeah,
something like
oh
that?
yeah.
No, but it's going to win you games. Time of possession is huge. I mean, the Titans have stayed relevant for so many years because of that. And I think their three-headed monster
Very
is going to be
true.
great.
Oh
Don't
yeah,
the
I think that's gonna be the best part of that team.
Oh, by far, it's good. They honestly probably have the best running back room in the NFL right now, and we haven't even seen Bijan take it down.
Yeah, their running back room is actually happy to play. They're not dejected right now. So you might be right about that.
Yeah, and their biggest issues right now is it's just filling up some holes on the defense. They do have AJ Terrell, one of the best cornerbacks in the league, but trying to find the guy who's going to cover the opposite side is going to be the biggest problem for them. They have added to their rush attack, their rush defense, and so we'll see how it all plays out. I'll go 7 and 9 since this is my division. I really can see 7, but I could also see them being a team that only gets 6
Hmm.
if they just start getting overthrown early. Like if they drop down a touchdown or two early, or 10 points early, I don't see them having the abilities to be able to come back and try to get wins. They're not going to have many come from behind victories. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, I think what the record last year was 7-10.
Yeah. I think they
I feel
should be
like,
better than last year, you would think, right? I mean,
and yeah, because I mean, Tampa Bay is not winning 8 games this year. They're not winning eight games
no.
this year. They won it last year. It's kind of flukish.
And it's
Carolina will have a decent year. I do believe the Saints will have a good year. I think the Saints will probably win a division. That's just being honest.
yeah.
Atlanta will probably be second in the division with Carolina and New Orleans. I mean
Mhm.
Carolina and Tampa Bay to pull up the rear. That's what I really feel about that division.
Yeah, I think you're kind of spot on with that one, man. Slim South in the building. What's good with you, Slim? How you doing, brother?
What's good, man? Hope all's well with you.
I know Hoodie Jube is live currently too. Me and Hoodie keep
Yes.
getting like mixed up whenever we go live. We've been going live at the same time. I hate doing that because I don't want to pull from him or he pull from us either. But if you're in Hoodie stream, tell him RFS said what's up. Um,
Yeah.
Moving on from there, we're going to go over to the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson, hopefully getting healthy.
Hmm.
I talked about the Ravens a good bit in the prediction videos that we've done so far, and I kept mentioning about
Yes.
how they had the addition of OBJ and how that's going to work out with Lamar and with his passing game and how it can expand their offense. But there's one guy that I just totally forgot, and I don't know how, and that's Zay Flowers, the rookie, who has
Oh,
been
the wicked.
looking
Yeah.
phenomenal during training camp. He looks like a
Yeah.
dude that is instantly going to walk in there and be a wide receiver one. And there's some rumors that they think he could possibly be one of the best wide receivers coming out the draft this past year.
Mm, that's a lot. That's saying a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I mean,
that's pretty cool. I mean, happy for him. I want him to be. I want everybody to be successful, man.
yeah, big facts. So what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on Baltimore right now? They're in the division, a pretty tough one with the Bengals, the Browns, and the Steelers. Um, and they've just kind of fell short the last couple of years. Where do you see them being this time around?
It This could be an interesting race for first between Cincinnati and Baltimore this year. Um, They won 10 games last year. Definitely fell short with injuries. If they didn't have the injuries toward the end of the stretch, they probably would have actually won that division. That's what I honestly believe. They probably would
Wow,
actually end up winning that division.
over Cincy, you think so?
Oh yeah, they were only 2 games behind. And when he
That's very true.
when they got injured, when he was like 4 or 5 games out.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and when they lost because of minute mistakes.
By Huntley.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
if the quarterback play is still top tier, it's a possibility they win that division last year.
You know what? You might be onto something, Non. I mean, I gave Lamar a lot of slack last year, a whole lot of slack where I just needed to
I think
see
we all
more
kind
out
of
of him.
did.
We all did.
Yeah.
Like we weren't trying to jump on the train right away. I'm still not fully aboard, but the things that I saw whenever he was healthy, like just reminded me how great he was. Like I thought that first injury was really going to mess him up, but he came out when he's on the field, he's obviously the best player on the field regardless of who's across from him. And he's just so
I
damn
agree.
athletic, skillful, he's a great leader. People ride around him, and I think with OBJ and his leadership, especially now being a little bit older, he's got a little bit of swag too. He's already said might be his last year. This might be his retirement year. I think Ravens are going to have a good season. So in saying that, where do we want to put him?
If OBJ stays healthy, if Lamar stays healthy, you can argue for a 12 win season.
That's where I'm thinking too. I'm thinking 12 wins is very possible, especially with the fact that Joe Burrow is looking like he's going to miss at least 3 weeks now. Jamar Chase actually is saying that he doesn't want him coming back until week 5. So, I mean, all that speculation, nothing that's
Really?
came out for sure, but the calf issue that he's having is something that he dealt with last year. If you watch the clip, whenever he got hurt, he actually already had a sleeve on it. So I wonder if he has an issue with his calf and he's just been trying to power through it. And now they're kind of like, look, man, you're going to have a long career ahead of you. Don't shorten it by trying to force yourself out of this injury. We'll have more years. And that is the right thing to do. I mean, you got 2 wide receiver ones
Oh
on your
yeah.
team. You got a wide receiver 3 that's really a wide receiver 2. You got Mixon. You got a good solid team. You're constantly building up your O line. You don't have to worry about winning now. Worry about winning in 2 years. Like, get fully healthy.
Yeah.
So I agree with Jamar Chase in that instance. And you might be right. This might be a Baltimore Ravens division this year.
If that's what it's feeling like, especially I wasn't even thinking about the injury situation. So with him possibly, not playing the first 3 games of the season, possibly, and if he goes to 5, oh yeah, yeah.
And their backup is Trevor Simeon.
Oh, that
So
changes
I
the
know
whole outlook.
I know how that works. But real quick, what's good, Mikey? Sorry, we're like deep in conversation. Didn't want to stop. What's good with you, Mikey? He said I was trying to start a live stream, but I couldn't. Oh, that sucks, Mikey. Anything we can do to help with that, man? I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
That sucks. Mozzie in the building
Let's post up.
said, my guys, Ravens winning it all, lads. All right, Mozzie. Mozzie, and I keep going against everything you say, but then like the Miami Heat go from an 8th seed to the finals. So like I feel like I need to stop denying you because I might be like the jinxing myself by saying stuff. So I'm gonna be quiet. Yeah, go Ravens, bro. Y'all are gonna win it all. Sure. Let's go with it. But what's good with you, Moz? Also, for those of y'all that are in here right now, and Mozzie, if you're able to stick around the whole time, every like 15 minutes or so, can you go ahead and type in !FF? So we are about to start up our fantasy football league again for the 2023-2024 season. We have not set a draft date yet. This is the first league. We have 3 spots left in League 1. Once that gets filled up, we will open up League 2, but the only way we're going to do League 2 is if we get at least 8 spots. At least 8. And really, I want 10, but I'll do 8. So if you're interested in playing fantasy football, it is free. Winner does get a prize, custom selected from Nonpfixion and I. Last year, we gave out a pint glass, a customized pint glass of the the league manager who won favorite team with a little custom lettering on it. This year, I'd like to do something a little bit bigger, but we'll see just how everything works out. So please join it. It's a lot of fun, and you'll get more information after you join. Yes. Mikey said, I started the stream, but it wasn't on my channel. Oh, so Mikey, you got to go into your stream studio. and then you have to press start stream from inside of your stream studio room, your what's called the live streaming room. If you don't do that, then it won't start. So you got to do both. If you're trying to stream from your phone, that I don't know how to do exactly, so I might not be the best one. But if you're trying to stream from a laptop or a desktop, you got to open up YouTube, go to Studio, go to Lives, and then click on Live Studio Room, and then click Start. It's
If he does for his phone, it should automatically go to his actual channel. So
oh, should it? Okay,
it should be automatic on the phone.
I got you. All right, so let's keep pushing. Should we say Buffalo Bills for Nate to get here because Nate missed it last time? We'll wait until Nate gets in here. We'll see how it pushes. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and look at the Carolina Panthers back in the NFC South Division. Rookie quarterback Bryce Young. They got Miles Sanders in the trade with Philadelphia. Who's their wide receivers right now? Why am I forgetting Carolina Panthers wide receivers? Let's see.
I mean, one of the rookies is Jonathan Mingo from Ole Miss.
From Ole Miss, yeah, he was nice. I liked watching him play, but I don't think he's like a game changer type of player.
Yeah, depth chart. Let's see if they got one.
Because I know they got
Adam Thielen.
Oh, Thielen, that's
Adam
right.
Thielen, Terrace Marshall Jr., Shai Smith, C.J. Sanders, DJ Shark,
and Chenault,
Chenault, Javon Williams, and Gary Jennings.
You know what, man? That is actually a like super underrated wide receiver core. No one that has a great big name, but a bunch of guys that aren't going to be like, I need the ball now. I need to get so many touches. They just want to go out there and play. Like DJ Chark, that pickup was great. Adam Thielen, he's a vet that felt underappreciated last year. I think we actually were live streaming during a game where we were watching him and him physically getting angry because they went like 4 or 5 series without designing a play to go to him, and he went and yelled at the coaches. Like, he wants to show that he still has it. He might be a little bit older, but Adam Thielen, he's not your greatest footwork guy, but he has phenomenal hands. He does everything necessary to get across the stakes.
He's definitely a solid receiver, 100% solid receiver. But with Bryce Young more than likely starting this season, I assume that's what I assume with this team.
Yes,
they went 7-10 last year. They're not going 7-10 this year if he's starting. I don't believe so.
You don't think? You think he goes under that? I mean, you got to think who started last year. It was Baker for a little bit. It was the young dude that came from, was it XFL? Not XFL. Goodness, that threw the bomb. He threw like an 89-yard touchdown pass or something crazy like that.
But they're also quarterbacks who have been in a professional style environment, so the game is different and the speed of the game, they understand it better. Not saying that Bryce Young won't be able to do it. I'll say it every year. When it comes to quarterbacks going to the league, I'm not a believer of them taking over that fast.
I agree. I mean, you know, the thing with the Panthers and with Bryce Young and for what I've heard coming out of their camp is that he's just very smart. They've been able to open up the playbook and everything, and that's all good because I mean, we know guys coming from Alabama, they're smart, but it's a great university. You know, they pick up on things quick. I think Bryce Young had like a 4.0 GPA. Like, the dude's a genius, but knowing and reading the playbook is different from knowing and reading what you see on the field
implementing
quickly. So that's going to be the toughest thing, but the best scenario for Bryce Young is that he's playing in a weak division. Like, none of these teams in the NFC South are like guaranteed wins. As much as like I'd like to say my Saints should definitely win it, but like I could see from other aspects where, you know, we could drop the ball in certain areas and it could be up for grabs. But I'm with you. I don't like to give a prediction that a rookie quarterback is going to come out and win a division. It just doesn't happen that often.
Yeah, especially not winning the division. I honestly think that they'll probably land third in the division. That's what I feel. I feel like they're gonna land third in the division.
Let's see. Slim said, Mozzie said, let me go up one more time. Mikey said it was on my phone, but dang, email. Oh, I got you. Mike said my prediction for Carolina is 8-9. I could see 8-9 too. I think all the NFC South except for Tampa Bay is gonna float between 7 to 9 wins. Possibly one of them gets 10, and then Tampa's, maybe 4. Let's see. 40 said Titans S tier. What's good with you, 40? Slim said Carolina better have a good O-line play because Bryce will have some rookie growing pains. Yeah, Slim, I couldn't agree more with that, man. People were trying to compare Bryce Young with like how other smaller quarterbacks have been successful. Kyler Murray had a couple successful years. A lot of that came because of his scrambling ability. Drew Brees had some successful years, but it took a lot of growing pains before Drew was able to figure out how to be a smaller quarterback in today's in NFL and be productive. He has to be extremely efficient. He has to be extremely quick, and he's got to be able to look over that line. That's going to be the biggest problem. I
also think that it takes certain. I also think it takes certain coaches to understand smaller quarterbacks.
Oh, very true. Very much.
I know that might sound weird, but I don't think every coach can coach a small quarterback.
Yeah.
I just don't think they can. And I think from being at Fresno State and seeing somebody like I know Derek Carr is supposed to be like 6'2", 6'3", whatever, but I've seen his brother. His brother is much taller, and the guys that came in after his brother were much taller. And when we had a shorter quarterback, even though he was probably more talented than a lot of them, our coaching scheme struggled because it was used to a certain style of quarterback, a certain size, and that all determines a lot. Like I said, they won 7 games last season. I would put them in the 4 to 6 range.
Okay, I'm cool with that. I think they really get at least 6 wins. I think that's the minimum for them. I think I'd be very disappointed, especially with how good the Carolina Panthers defense is. They were best in the run last year, or top 5 in the run last year. But I'm cool with 4 to 6. Of course, I'll be cool with that, bro. I'm a Saints fan. You can put them all at the bottom. Next up, Chicago Bears. Bears are now really trying to compete for the actual division with the problems or not the problems, but with the change that's now happened with the Green Bay Packers. The Bears, I think, are up there with the Vikings and Lions to try and take the division. They're trying to figure out now which of those 3 teams are going to try to be dominant in this division until the inevitable happens, which is the Green Bay coming back and being good again. Because we know it's going to happen, but it's just a matter of when. What do we think about the Bears moving forward with Justin Fields, how he's going to improve, and where they can land this year?
I mean, are people really thinking that Chicago's going to go from 3-14 to 13-4?
No, but a lot of people do think they're going to get 10 wins. There's a lot of people that put them in that like over 500 range. They think Justin Fields. Justin Fields talking a big talk, which he's not. He hasn't been a very vocal quarterback in recent years. But like he's coming out, he said he wants to have a 4,000 pass season. He wants to be a better quarterback. He doesn't just want to be a mobile quarterback. He wants to be able to move the ball, pass the ball. They went and grabbed some different wide receivers with Chase Claypool and DJ Moore, still with Mooney Mooney. But it's not like any of those guys are number 1 wide receivers. I mean, DJ Moore is like a borderline number 1 to me. Claypool, I think, is extremely overrated. He just has 1 or 2 big plays every like 4 to 5 weeks, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh my God, Claypool! He's so good! He's so good!"
Yeah. I can't even argue that one, but yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. Or he makes some boneheaded mistake. For me, for the Bears, I'm thinking between a 7 and 9 tier.
7 and 9.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I think they're gonna have an improved season. I don't think all of a sudden they jump into something crazy, but I think they have a season that shows them hope. What's up, Josiah? Yes, Josiah. Right there is the fantasy link. So if you want to go ahead and join the Fantasy Football League, go ahead and click that. We have 3 spots remaining as of the start of the stream. Not sure if anybody else joined. If you weren't able to join, let me know, and I'll create another league in a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill up this one up with 10 people. We're going to have a 10-team league. Once it's filled up, I'm going to go ahead and invite everyone to a Discord channel, a private Discord channel, so we can talk. We'll discuss and figure out what date we're going to do the draft, and then we will go from there. But what's up, Josiah? I hope you have a good one, bro. Slim said Bears 4 to 6 wins. You really think that low, Slim? I can't imagine them going that low, bro. I just have a hard time. I feel like they have to improve, but
To be honest, that's where I was thinking initially.
Is where you were thinking
The 4 to
initially.
6. Yeah. Because
Well,
even when I say 7 9, I'm thinking 7.
that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking 7-2. I'm thinking 7-2, bro. I'm thinking 7-2. Um, Mikey said I couldn't join. All right, let me pull that up real quick, one guys. Let me see if it got all filled up. It should work. If it doesn't work, I'll try and plug in another link. You might. I wonder if
It
it's.
should. That's the right link.
Yeah.
Here, let me see.
Let me look how many players we have right now.
Yeah, that's the right link. It takes you to the you've been
Oh,
invited.
no, we're filled. That's why. Who else joined?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, who else joined? Oh no. We still have we have 3. It should be able to work. It should be able to work. We definitely have 3 more spots left. If you aren't able to join and you would like to join, go ahead and find me on any of our social medias. Go ahead and send me a message. Instagram is the easiest, but I bet you we have to update the Twitter now too, since it's not Twitter anymore. Did they change that yet?
Oh, yeah, they changed it.
Okay.
I
Well,
believe they did.
well, go ahead. Add me on Instagram or anything else. Send me a direct message, and then I will. I'll send you a link directly to you.
They just changed. I think they just changed the logo. It's just a logo.
Oh, it is okay. I didn't get the website yet.
Yeah,
Okay,
just a logo.
cool.
Yeah, the website it still says Twitter.
Oh, Mike
They
said
put X,
because
it's
you're
gonna
not.
pull up all
Oh,
kinds of
because you're
porn.
not 18.
Oh,
What? You shouldn't have to. What? Really, Mikey?
Is it because it has the gambling stuff on the
It
site?
is. It is a gambling website too, even though it's a free one. I didn't think about that whenever we first did it.
Mikey, just put your birthday to be 18, and this
No,
you can only do fantasy.
he'll probably have to, because whenever you do that, I think you have to like actually put in like your driver's license or identification shit. Did you have to do that when you downloaded it? You didn't.
No,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, just change your age, Mikey. Shh. Don't tell nobody.
And just stay off everything else. Just go to the fantasy.
Yeah.
And just our fantasy, and that's it.
Yeah, our fantasy is free, so you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Slim said, I think other teams in the NFC North improved more than the Bears. The only people that I think the Vikings are exactly the same. I think the Vikings are exactly the same. I think, again, it all depends on Cousins, which we'll get to them in a second. And then I think the Lions have drastically improved. I personally think the Lions can win the division this year. But let's keep pushing. We'll keep them at 7-9 for now. I think I also saw somebody else hop in the building. Mike said, did you see the video of me explaining the beef? I did not see the video of you explaining the beef. I'll check it out afterwards. Josiah says, will the fantasy thing be open tomorrow? What do you mean, Josiah? It's open. It's open right now until those 3 spots get taken up. It's open. And if it gets filled up, I'm gonna go ahead and start a second one, and then that one has to get filled up. If it doesn't get at least 8 players, then sorry, and you get in there next year. So try to get in now if you can. Keep it on the low. Yeah, it should be open now. Yes. All right, but next up, we talked about them a little bit. The Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow looking like he's going to be out for at least a couple of weeks. Jamar Chase, I think, wants him to be out until week 5. What do we think about the Bengals, man? I mean, before the injury, I'm sitting here like Bengals should dominate the division, but you've kind of convinced me in the ways of the Ravens. So what's your thoughts on the Bengals?
I didn't even think about the injury to Joe Burrow until we started talking about the Ravens. But also, there's injuries to defensive tackles, the running back, tight end. Like they have some significant injuries on that offensive and defensive front. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, I mean losing Pirine isn't like the biggest thing, but people forget that once Mixon went out, and in today's NFL, people are getting injured left and right. It's no longer a thing of like if you're healthy, it's like when you're gonna get hurt, and how bad is it gonna be? And whenever Mixon went out, Pirine did his thing, and now that I think he's actually the one that went over to the Cardinals. Now that he's gone, who's their backup? Who's going to fill that role if something were to happen to Mixon? Mixon's getting a little bit, not super up in age. I think he's like 26, 27. But this is when the risks start coming.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if Travion Williams is a backup or a reserve, but he's in a walking boot. So you know, I don't know what his position is in the depth chart, but he's currently in the walking boot.
Yeah.
I'll say that much.
I mean, this could be one of those things with I still think the Bengals are a good team. I mean, even if Burrow has to
Yeah,
miss the first 3 games, obviously I'd have to go like look at their schedule and see like what those games are that he's gonna miss. I still think Burrow's a winner. He's been a winner since he started playing football. Like he's literally has never had a losing record as a starter. You know, and I'm with y'all with the 10 to 13. That's kind of where I see them. But I could see them dropping to just under 10. I don't think 7, but I could see him dropping just under 10 if Burrow's injury ends up being extended longer than what it should be or what they initially think. Where do you have him?
I can kind of agree with that because if you look at the regular season schedule, their first 5 games are against the Browns, Ravens, Rams, Titans, Cardinals. Now the Browns is kind of up in the air. We don't know what we're going to get with that team. They didn't look good in the first game, which was the little Shriners game. Ravens, I think they're probably going to lose that game. Rams, they'll probably win that even with the backup QB. Titans, depending on the run game, if that situation gets settled, they could lose that game. And I think they'll probably still beat the Cardinals with the backup. I can see a 9-win season for them. To be honest, I can see a 9-win season.
I can see a 9 win. I can see a 9 win, but I'm gonna put them at 10 because I think 9 is the least amount of losses that they can have. I really think they sit between that 10 to 11 mark, maybe 12 at the highest, with Joe being out early. We'll put them at 10 to 13 for now. It's going to be a battle between Baltimore and Cincy, and I think Pittsburgh is going to give them a little bit of problems too. But like they're going to be on the way in a couple years. I do see Nate Brisky in the building. What's up, Nate? Welcome to the channel. Appreciate you stopping by. He said he's a Detroit fan.
Welcome.
And he might be drinking the Kool-Aid. Hey, what kind of Kool-Aid though? Like, I like the raspberry lemonade. That's my genre right there. He said, but I personally have lines going 15-2 with my bets from last year. My prediction has a margin of error of 3.4, so they could have 5 losses, I guess. You know, Nate, I'm actually like kind of right there with you. Like, not 15-2. I think 15-2 is a little crazy. I'm not gonna lie with you, Nate. But I do really think that Detroit is gonna be a really good team, and we're gonna have them coming up in a second. We're gonna keep going through this line, like, and we'll keep conversating and stuff like that. But we'll give you our full opinion on the lines in just a sec. But as we were going along, staying in that same division, we have the Cleveland Browns, Deshaun Watson, finally getting a full year after missing 11 games last year. When he came back, he didn't look very good. I can't remember if his suspension also made it to where he wasn't allowed to practice with the team. I feel like it was because he just kind of looked lost out there, and he got thrown into like the middle of winter where every game was, you weren't just playing against the other team, you were playing against the elements, and that didn't make things easier. On top of it, can we see a drastic improvement from the Browns this year? Now Deshaun Watson is starting, assuming all 17. They lost Kareem Hunt, still have Nick Chubb, which is by far the best running back in the league at this point. I think you could argue maybe Derrick Henry, but Nick Chubb's just been doing it so well for so long, it's hard to argue it. Their wide receivers are still like, What do you think about the Browns?
What do we consider drastic? Because they won 7 games last season. So drastic, you mean you're when I hear drastic, I'm thinking 15 wins. I don't see that.
Oh hell no.
So that's drastic.
But okay, I say drastic as Deshaun Watson's performance because a lot of those games didn't come because Watson was playing. They came from Jacoby Brissett. Brissett, played pretty well. Yes. So do we see them getting above that 7-9 ranking? I don't think they're better than the Bengals. I don't think they're better than Baltimore. And from the things that people have been saying about the Pittsburgh Steelers, I don't know if they're better than the Steelers either. Now, I don't think they're a horrible team, but I don't see them like all of a sudden being a great team. Like, I mean, when's the last time the Browns have been a really good team? They had 1 year with Baker, and then before then it's been since I was born.
Probably the 80s and 70s.
Way before I was born. I wasn't even thought of.
So I mean, as far as like what analysts believe is they believe they're a 9-win team. That's what they believe, and I kind of agree with it because we still don't know what they look like in full force. We haven't seen them, like you said, with a full preseason. We haven't seen them with a full practice time. We haven't seen none of that, so we have no idea. So to me, a 7-9 is not really far fetched.
No, I'm with you. I think somewhere between 7 to 8 wins. Realistically, I think 7 to 8 wins. I don't even really see 9 wins, to be honest. Especially in this division, it's gonna be a tough. It's gonna be a pretty tough division. Not because they're all great teams, but Ravens, we just don't know what we're gonna get. How long Lamar's gonna be healthy? How long OBJ is gonna be healthy? All that good stuff. Bengals, we don't know the issues with that. If I knew for sure right now that Baltimore is 100% healthy the whole season, Bengals are 100% healthy the whole season, and Steelers are 100% healthy the whole season, I would say they might only get 6 wins, if you want to be honest. But since we know, or we think and can assume that something's going to happen, I could see them stretching out to like maybe 8, maybe 9, but I don't see it getting past that. I just don't. I don't think it's possible.
I don't see him getting past it either. That's just a gut feeling.
Josiah Mozzie, Slim, everybody agrees 7 and 9. That I think so too. Slim all said Bengals. He thinks Bengals could be 7 and 9, but can still sneak into playoffs. I could see Bengals going 7 and 9, especially with the injury issue. But we'll see how all that plays out. It's hard to judge injuries, especially because we don't know exactly what's going on. That we just know based off of what Jamar Chase, because the first announcement was that he'd be back for week 1. And then they found it was a little more serious, and then Jamar was like, "Nah, you need to stay put." Josiah said, "Cowboys 14-7, rah, America's team." Don't get me started, Josiah. Nate also said, "Thanks, Mozzie. Line schedule seems rather easy when every home game and you just have to win 50% of the way games." Interesting, Nate. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. So Cowboys are up. The American team. Look, I mean, we just put them at 14-7, right? Dude, the biggest issue with this team is what is Dak? Why can't he just play consistent? Everyone gives Kirk Cousins like the biggest, most amount of like trash talking, and crap out of any quarterback in the league. But Dak is even more unreliable than what Kirk Cousins is.
Dak deserves the negative talk that he gets. He's earned it. He's earned all the bad talk. He's earned it all.
And we don't say this as a bad place either. Like we want to see that dude, because when he's good, he's great. But like,
yes,
it's like there's so many times he loses the games because of him. I mean, their defense is solid. They're gonna have a top 10 easily, if not top 5 defense in the league this year. They're running back without Zeke. We'll see who fills in the shoes for him, but Pollard is a dog. CeeDee Lamb is a top, I'd say top 3 wide receiver in the league right now. He is phenomenal. And then you hear all that, you're like, oh, and they have a great tight end in Dalton Schultz. So you hear all that and you're like, oh man, they're at least a 12-win team. At least. And then you mentioned Dak and you're like, well, I could see them only getting 9.
yeah. And it's bad because they won 12 last season. And if Dak doesn't get
how many
injured,
of those was without Dak though? 4?
Get out my head. Get out my
4?
head. Because I was about to say, if Dak doesn't get injured, do they actually win that 12? Because Cooper Rush, regardless of what you say about him, he did look good in the games he played in.
Except for the one he lost.
Polished.
The one he lost, he looked bad. I won't lie. I think that was the one against Philly. He looked bad in that one. But other than that, he looked good.
But wait, hold on. Excuse me, we did that game.
Yeah.
We did that game, and he should have won that game. They had some defensive errors in that game.
Right. I forgot about that.
They would have won that game. Because that's the reason why they even brought Dak back early, is because he lost that game. Dak came back the next week.
Yeah.
If he wins, Dak won that game. And they probably get 13, 14 wins without Dak.
So
I'm saying 10.
You're saying 10? You think 10? I think they're in, and we haven't really done this the way we normally do. So like we have them in this ranking, but we do normally organize them of like where we think they're gonna be at in these ranks. Yeah. So like they're at the bottom of 10 because I really think 10 may be their limit. I mean, I gave Commanders a lot of trash whenever I did my playthrough, and we'll get to them a little bit later. But apparently, a lot of people say that they've improved. I mean, but Bengals Ravens. This is, I think that's the order, right? I think I slightly might have Baltimore above Bengals just because of the injury this year. So like, I like this. I
Yeah,
like this right here. I like this
I'm
right
in
here.
agreement with that. I'm definitely in agreement with that.
Next one. This is probably the most interesting one. Like this could be like the most improved team in the league this year, I think. And part of it comes from a bias just because I know how Sean Payton works. But the Denver Broncos coming into this year under new head coach Sean Payton. Back with Russell Wilson, there's been a lot of changes that has happened in that organization as far as who's allowed in, who's allowed out, how they run their camps and their practices and everything like that. And Sean, you can just tell from the interviews that players from the Saints that have had with Sean feel about how he doesn't allow BS slide. You mess up in practice, you run, or you get punished for it. Like it's not just like, oh, it's okay. Like he runs a really tight shift. He almost coaches more like a college coach does, where they be a little more strict on him. Whereas NFL coaches sometimes they're like, y'all are professionals, like you know not to do this. He don't play those games.
Yeah.
Denver last year needed to score 17 points in the first 10 weeks to only have lost 2 games. To have gone 8-2. Their struggle last year was offense. They had one of the best defenses in the league. You would assume that it's going to be similar again this year. They had injuries at running back. They kind of worked some of that out. What do we think of Broncos, man?
I mean, I know a lot of us had the conversation about, is Russell washed? Now, I know one person that doesn't believe he's washed, and that's Sean Payton. Because if he thought he was washed, he wouldn't be taking the job. So obviously he doesn't think he's washed. I don't think he's washed. I just don't think he's nowhere near as good as he used to be.
Hell no.
I think he's still a good quarterback, but there's something when we watch those games, and of course we did a bunch of them because they had so many primetime games. When we seen a lot of those games, there was just something that was missing. And I'm not putting the blame on the coaching. I'm not putting the blame on all the other players. Just when we watched him, there was just things that he did that just didn't make sense. It's like you have a tight end wide open and no one within 10 yards, and you throw it to his feet. Like why are you hearing footsteps when no one's around you? What are you doing?
I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't play because you look back and you think about the veteran quarterbacks that we've seen in the most recent years. Because we're getting out of like my era of football, right? No more Tom, no more Drew, no more Matt Ryan, no more Phillip Rivers. Like all the guys that I grew up watching and loving are now gone. And as they became older, it never was a problem of awareness that they dealt with. It never was that they got nervous of someone coming to sack them. It was arm strength that they started lacking. It was arm strength and quickness to be able to move. Russell Wilson's problem is opposite of that. The dude still goes and runs for 30 yards a game. He still gets out on a roll. He holds that pocket. He's not scared to break free out of it. He still throws a pretty ball, but his reaction is so slow, and like you said, he hears steps and he looks like he doubts himself. That's not something that you'd expect from a veteran quarterback like them. So then you got to start asking the question, like, was it just playing for one team and I think one coach for the majority of his career, and then switching to another one just has him like Dunzo? Like, is he a system quarterback and he just can't rock with the new one, where him and the coach not able to get intertwined and get on the same page of everything? I mean, the receivers that he has are very different. Jerry Jeudy is very different from a lot of the receivers that he had over with the Seahawks. Sutton apparently been looking really good in this offseason, but they say that every year. But he's a little bit different too. Like, but they have a great run game. That's why it doesn't make sense why they were so bad last year. Like, I honestly thought they could be a team that could probably get second in the division last year, and then to go, they win 4 games? It's embarrassing.
I think they went 5-12. 5-12. And that's the funny thing about it. You went 5-12 and you lost. You did worse than a team that was actually being sabotaged.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Right.
That's really bad.
What up, Jerry?
What's good? I think they're going to go get about 7 or 8 wins.
Really? You have 7-8?
Yeah.
So I got him between. We'll go with that. I had him between like 9 and 10 wins. I don't think Sean Payton's ever had less than 7 wins in a season. I think he had those 3 7-9 seasons back to back to back. But he's never lost more than that. I don't believe. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. Um, but I could see them just because the Raiders are struggling this year, and because the Chargers still give me a lot of questions, just like that whole organization from the beginning. Can have the best squad, they just don't make it happen. Makes me want to lean here. But if you think 7-8, I'll go there. I'm cool with that.
I'll say this: since 2015, they haven't actually eclipsed their predicted win totals. So if they were predicted to go 10, they didn't. They never got close to that. If they're, you know what I'm saying. So I'm saying, like, right now they're predicted to go 8.5.
Yeah, I hear you.
So I'm still thinking 7, to be honest, but I'll take
7.
I mean, I'll say 8.
I think
nice
9 to 10 wins is where I see him, but we'll see. I do have to use the restroom. You want to go ahead? We got a lot of comments, and I have been reading the comments, just haven't replied. You want to go and reply to some of those while I go pee real quick?
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Let me pull it up.
Right. Oh, okay, cool.
I have on a different screen.
Yeah, I'll start so you get it up. I saw Josiah and Nate going back and forth about the Detroit Lions and the Cowboys. I like that. Hey, look, this is Real Fan Sports, guys. Treat this like a bar room. It's a sports bar room. We're all together, joking, talking crap. Talk all the shit you want to do. Just don't go at anybody's neck. Have some fun with it. Don't get your feelings hurt. That's for sure.
And also, don't forget to vote in the poll as well. But let me see.
Yeah, do you think?
Nate says Josiah, I think Dallas 13-4. That seems about right. I mean, it's a possibility, but we also got to wonder what kind of Dak we're going to get. Like, for whatever reason, Dak shows up sometimes, and then sometimes he just falls flat on his face. And no one knows why. Like, what happened? Is it have to do with the hierarchy of Dallas? You know, is it because he just feel like he deserves more? No one knows, man. No one knows at all. I know Dak ain't him. He shows at every playoff game. True facts. Jerry said hello. What's good, Jerry? Slim to OG. Currently on Dolph 17, but stop by to say hi. Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate you. Tell Dolph we said what's good from RFS. Also, once again, like Zach said, thank you, Miley, for posting that. If you're interested in being part of our fantasy league, we will have one, and if we have enough people, we will do a second one. I don't know why your mic got really loud all of a sudden.
Oh, it's probably just shaking around. My bad.
Oh, it's all good. Miley, thank you, Miley. Nate says, how does it work? Zach is the creator and the pontificator behind that, so he can explain all that to you guys.
Who said that? Nate did?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So Nate. So the way the fantasy league works, we'll as soon as everybody joins, we have 3 spots open, I believe. I think I think Mozzie just posted that. We have 3 spots open. Once that gets filled up, we're gonna do a 10-person league. We're gonna select a date and time to start the draft. You go through, I think it's 14 rounds, and you pick your players. And it does a snake draft, so it'll be randomly selected what pick you get, and it just works like an NFL draft. You pick what players you want, you set your starting lineup, you have your bench, and then you go week by week and you play. We do a free league. There are paid leagues, but we're going to do a free one just for some fun. And then whoever wins the league will receive a trophy of sorts from us. We don't have an actual trophy yet. We will hopefully we might. It just depends on a couple of things, but we definitely do give out a prize. Last year we did a little pint glass with your favorite team's logo on it and a custom RFS champ. It'd be 2024, and we do it like that. This year might be something a little bit better. It just all depends on how everything works. So. Come join it, man. We have a lot of new people. We have a lot of people that are new to fantasy sports. We have people that have been doing it for years. It doesn't matter. It's free. Come have some fun. It ain't no big deal, man. Promise you. But all right. So what I wanted to do here is, since Nate is a Lions fan, he said his schedule this year is pretty easy. So I want to take a look at his schedule. And we're gonna take a look, and we're gonna see where we have them. This is the only one we'll do it for, because since Nate's new to the channel, we want to show you some love and show some love for your team. He said he can see them going 15-2.
So you have them losing to the Chiefs.
Yeah. So we'll go week 1. Chiefs. I can't see him losing the first game right off the bat. I can't. I see the Chiefs losing the first game after winning the Super Bowl against the Lions. Panthers. I'm sorry, that's preseason. Seahawks. I think they could beat the Seahawks. I think it's kind of what and what, but I think they could beat them. I think that's also a home game, so that kind of gives them the edge as well. Falcons. I think they they beat the Falcons.
I see them beat the Falcons.
Packers at Packers. I feel like they're gonna split. I don't see the Packers getting swept. Is my thing. It might be just because it's been so long since it's happened. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
You did the Lions. Have you done the Lions prediction yet? I can't remember.
Not yet. No.
No, not yet. All right. So we'll say 3, and we'll see how it goes. Next up, they have Panthers at home. I can see them beating the Panthers. Then they play the Bucks. God, y'all play the whole NFC South. They do. Y'all play the whole NFC South. Okay. We'll give y'all 5 against the Bucks. Ravens.
I'm gonna
say no. I don't think Jared Goff has that ability yet. If Lamar's healthy, I can't see him losing. I don't know. It'll be close, but I can't see it. Raiders. I haven't beaten the Raiders on my prediction. It's at home for them as well. Chargers. I think that's a what and what. We gave them the Seahawks last time, so let's say we'll give them a loss there. Bears at home. I'll give them the win at the Bears. I think they split with the Packers, so I'm gonna keep them at 7. I think they're at 7-4 right now. They play the Saints. I'll let you do that because you know I'm gonna pick Saints.
I mean, the Saints defense against their offense could be a really good game.
That's actually the one home game that I want to go to as a Saints fan. I want to go to that game.
I mean, for this game,
if they lose, they'll be 7.
I want to say Saints because they're at home, but you know.
Okay, we'll say Saints, but I think that one could flip. We'll say that's a flip.
That one
because we could be being biased. I'm a Saints fan. He's a Derek Carr fan, so it could be biased. Bears away. I'll give them the Bears. Broncos at home.
I think they'll beat the Broncos.
All right. Vikings away. They play Vikings twice in the last 3 weeks. I think they split that.
They're gonna split that.
So you give them one, then they play Cowboys.
This is the time of the year for the Cowboys where they make so many mistakes.
It's in Dallas too.
But they make so many mistakes around this time of the year.
So
with Dak.
So that puts them around 10. It puts them around 10, which is I thought
the win against the Cowboys?
That's what the win against the Cowboys. That's exactly what I was thinking. Somewhere between 10, 12 at the highest. 15 is crazy, Dave. I'm not gonna lie to you. 15 is crazy. But I could see 12 wins, and I could see 12 wins in the division. 10 gets them second place in a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
Are we all cool with that? I think and I'll put them above the Cowboys too.
15 is wild, and the reason why I say it's wild because last season there was games where they looked like they could have been probably one of the best teams in the league, and then something just went kaput, and that was before injuries kicked in.
The thing is too is that we forget as much as the team has gotten better now with Jameson Williams being healthy, the Alabama wide receiver. Actually, our buddy Brad hashtag or exclamation point Brad in the chat. Someone get that for me. What's the worst that can happen? He actually worked with Jameson Williams. He's the one that filmed and recorded the video whenever he tore his ACL. He worked with him throughout his whole entire recovery procedure. He's really good friends with him.
I thought you were about to say that he recorded him doing that injury. I'm like, that dude.
No.
He's got the worst luck.
Right. No, the clip that they showed on ESPN after his draft, when they showed him and his recovery process, that's Brad. That's Brad that was working with him.
Okay.
It was on ESPN and stuff like that. Yeah, very cool. They got him. Amon St. Brown's looking phenomenal. I do like the running back they picked up from Georgia. but you got rid of your starting two running backs and Jamal Williams and Swift. So like
Mozzie.
that makes a difference. That makes a difference.
Yes. Yes. He said don't even start on Brad.
Don't even start on Brad.
He did mess up your game. He messed up your game.
I also see Cheeseheads in the build. My bad, Cheesehead. I kept seeing your messages, and then either Nan was talking or I was talking. I forgot to respond. What's good with you, brother? How you doing, man? How you living? He said, Zach, you can't be wearing that jersey. And then you said I can't wear it during the Packers. She said I'm especially wearing this during the Packers game, especially just for you. Actually, you know what? I can't because no, he's right because AK's out the first 3 games, so no, I can't wear it. You're right. Dang it, she said. I thought about going buy a card jersey, but I just didn't want to go drop. I didn't want to drop the money.
Like I told Ozzy, if y'all want us to rock, if y'all don't want us to rock our regular stuff, then you gotta buy us something else. Get him a Green Bay jersey.
You send me a Green Bay jersey, I'll wear that thing. I promise you. Never against the Saints, but I'll wear it. Nate said, Kool-Aid, let's go. Nate said, I have Lions beating Green Bay both times. Lions beat Green Bay twice last year versus Aaron Rodgers, and now they have Jordan Love. I don't see Lions fumbling Green Bay. And that's possible, too.
Thanks, Nate, for joining the fantasy league.
Cheese said, yeah, appreciate you, brother. Cheese said, I swear if y'all disrespect my Packers. Oh, we are on the Packers next. Look, let's just, you know what, Cheesehead? Look, just mute, all right, and then we'll give you the signal. We'll do all this, and that means you can turn it back on, okay? Green Bay Packers are up next. I mean, I'm just gonna come out just straight disrespectful, just because Cheesehead told me not to be. This is going to be the worst year in Packers history in a long time. They're going to struggle. They have two sophomore wide receivers in Watson and Dobbs. They got another rookie, I believe. They still have their running backs with Aaron Jones, which there was thoughts that they might lose him throughout the offseason, but they were able to maintain him. Their defense is still decent, but it's again on Jordan Love's shoulder, and I don't know if Jordan Love is ready to take on the weight of the Green Bay Packers, and especially in a division that's moving up and trying to get past them. I mean, the Green Bay has talked a lot of mess over the last decade and a half, and now they're kind of in a rebuild, and every team has this game circled because they want to beat the living breaks off them because of how they've been embarrassed over the last decade several times. Like, Green Bay is going to struggle this year.
Yes. No disrespect, to Cheesehead, but I mean, I'm not going to say they're not going to be like garbage. They're not going to be worse than our bottom 2 teams we have right now. So I still think they're going to be middle of the road. They're going to be middle of the road.
You think middle of the road? You think 7-9?
Because I'm thinking 6 or 7, but I don't think they're gonna be 4 to 6. So I'm thinking that's why I say I'm thinking 6 or 7. That's the only range they got. 6 or 7.
All right, I messed something up.
You did.
I messed something up. Oh, all right, stayed all the same. All right, cool. Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. I got them 4 and 6.
Then leave 4 6. My camera's having an issue right now. I'm still.
It's fine. We can still hear you. I got them 4 and 6, and this is the reason. I don't think that's gonna stay. And I don't see 4 at all. If we had a 6 to 8 ranking, then I put them in there. I see 9 as impossible for them.
Yeah, I don't think they get 9.
And I see 4 as impossible, but I see that range between 5 to 8 very possible, just depending on what happens. I just truly do. I'm gonna throw him there. Cheesehead, I love you, bro. You're my dog. Don't worry about it. But that's where I got him. And you know what? If they beat the Saints in week 3, then you can talk all the mess you want, bro. Like I'll go find a Cheesehead and I'll wear it the following stream, bro. If they beat the Saints, so we'll shake on that and we'll call that a deal.
Are we skipping Buffalo going to Texans?
Yeah. Also, Skylar came in here. Skylar said, I got Taylor Swift
I'm not
tickets.
even touching
Ah,
these. Oh
yeah, I
my
see you.
goodness.
I don't know what's going on, bro. Do you? We'll talk. We'll talk at the stream. Um.
It's just the cords hanging off the desk. They're
Oh.
not laying flat, so they're hanging
I.
off. So I was just doing it.
Yeah. Nate said, I joined the league. Ain't nobody better take golf. Nate, you can have golf. Actually, the only person you got to worry about taking golf is Non P because he got him last year in bye during a bye week for his starter, and he actually played well. So, but you can have him.
Yeah.
I don't want his ass.
Yeah.
I like Nate's like I call him. He's about a 1v9 the league for me. I get a cheese head for you, by the way. You got me a cheese head, bro. Bet. I got it. All right, Texans in a interesting division. Texans, like the Colts, are restarting. Titans are trying to like avoid the inevitable of an eventual restart for them. And then the Jaguars are the only team that looks like they're like they know where they're moving. They know where they're going.
Yes. Yes.
What do we think of the Texans now with another head coach? I think this is like 5 in like 7 years or something like that. It's something crazy. Now with new quarterback C.J. Stroud, who I think should have been the number 1 pick. I'm sure they were very happy that Bryce Young got picked first and they were able to get Stroud second because I think that's the guy they wanted. They have the sophomore running back who I'm forgetting his name, the small guy, but he runs like a big man. What do we think of the Texans this year?
Well, we know that they know that they threw games to lose on purpose for the last couple seasons, and it might have been to get C.J. Stroud. Who knows? I have no idea, but maybe that's what it was. And if that's what it is, then maybe this season will be slightly different than the previous. Actually play to win and not to lose.
I would sure hope so. You go and grab a first round pick, a second pick overall, and grab a quarterback, and if you start throwing games on purpose, you might as well have just sent that dude to go work at Walmart or some shit like that because you're basically just changing his whole mentality of like I want to win games to hey we're gonna lose on purpose so we can be better in like 5 years. When your next contract is due, that way you can get traded to another team. Like so they have to win. They have to win.
I mean the Texans haven't been like a well favored team since 2021. So.
Yeah.
And that last time
Pierce
they still lost that game.
Yeah.
But I think I think they're going to win more than what they did last season.
Which was what?
I'm going to say
they're probably
3-13.
3-13. I think they're in the
probably getting about I was gonna say about 6 wins. I'm thinking about 5, 6 wins.
Yeah, and like we said, we kind of have these organized. I think these two are like kind of interchangeable. I could see either of these being, but I think like 4 to 5 wins. Like if they get, I would say if they get 6 wins and then they play some games close, that is a winning season for the Texans. Because if you play games close and you win 5 or 6. Then you're like, okay, now we have a future. Now we have a foundation. Now let's build upon it. And then you're looking like the Bears. Then you're possibly looking like Jacksonville. And then you're looking at a division that doesn't quite know where they're at yet of who's going to dominate. I think that's a good assumption. We'll go ahead and jump on to another rookie quarterback with the Indianapolis Colts, Anthony Richardson, who's been looking like a freak. He put on another 15 pounds of muscle since camp, I'm sorry, not camp, but the goodness. Yeah, since draft basically, the where they do the 40 and stuff like that. He's put on another 15 pounds. They said this dude is a freak of nature. He's just a freak of nature. His biggest concern is his ability to read the offense quickly or read the defense quickly. Yes. And decision making. Now, the biggest problem with the Colts is that the owner went ahead and needs to learn to just shut his mouth and stop flapping that thing all around when it comes to having conversations about paying running backs when the only reason why y'all were relevant the last 2 years was because of your damn running back, even though he had a bad year last year. And then you go and say that, oh, if he wasn't here tomorrow, it wouldn't matter. We'll be fine. Like, so you basically just said you don't care about your employee. Like, you don't give a damn. And like we've said before, that's been the Colts way the whole entire time. The fact that Peyton Manning only won
Yeah.
one Super Bowl with the Colts because they would not give him help on that offensive line when he's desperately asked for it because he's not a mobile quarterback. Thank you, Nate, for subscribing. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Nate. Appreciate you.
What do we think of the Colts, man? Like, I keep running my mouth. It makes me mad. When I talk about the Colts, it makes me mad. So
Colts are another team, just like with Washington, that I have been saying for years that needs to be sold to a new owner. I don't like their owner. I don't like Irsay. I think he is terrible for the. He's terrible for the team. He's also terrible for the league. He sets up his quarterbacks to get injured because he doesn't like to pay for offensive line players. But I think that this rookie will have an okay season.
To be honest, him not wanting to pay for offensive line is okay, kind of, with Anthony Richardson because of his ability and how big he is. I mean, you could play him. You can play him similar to like how Josh Allen plays for the Bills, where big, tall, athletic. He can take a hit. He can deliver a hit. So it's okay. It's just what he does with the ball after he takes that initial blow. I mean, right off the back, I want to put him like somewhere, but I want to put them like somewhere right in between, like with the Texans. I think one of these teams will get 7 wins. I think one of these teams are possible to get 7 wins, but I don't know which one, and I don't think I will know until like week 4, when after we see them both of the rookie quarterbacks get into their form and how they look on offense.
Funny thing about it, it'll probably be the Texans.
You think so? I think so. I think people are checked out. I mean, because this is the thing. Just because Jonathan Taylor's upset doesn't mean that Jonathan Taylor's the only one that's upset. Everybody on that team is upset right now with that ownership. They do not like what's going on. They do not like how their players be treated, because once you hear something like that happens, where this guy is a top 5 running back in the whole entire NFL, and only on his he was going into his 3rd year last year, or whatever it was. I could be mixed up with that, but right once this happens, and then he just blatantly says how he doesn't care if he's there or not next year. How would you feel as a player, where you're trying to dedicate your body, your mental, your everything to this organization, and then you know that he doesn't care about his best player the last 2 years? How would you feel? I'd be like, I can't wait to get the hell out. Is how I would be.
Yeah.
His coach needs to get a pay raise, because the head coach is probably the only thing that's keeping that glue stick.
Probably. I mean, you're probably right, but like what you said about him not paying, but allow Richardson to kind of because he's still big. But the Colts have had a big quarterback that was mobile and could take hits. And what happened to him? He left the league years early before he should have.
Yeah, I mean, Richardson's definitely more athletic than Luck is, but you were definitely right. You're definitely, because those hits weigh, especially when you're younger, it adds up after a while, man.
Oh yeah. I think if Luck played anywhere else, he's still in the league.
Oh, he's still in the league, and he maybe not have a Super Bowl. It's so hard to predict who gets one. Yeah, but he would have been in a Super Bowl for sure. He'd have been in one. Yeah. Whether he would have won one or not, he would have probably been in one.
But I agree with you where you put him. Around the 4 to 6 range. I agree. Like I said, I do think it'll be probably the Texans that'll get that 7th win.
I mean, look, as a rookie quarterback, and like you can see a trend. All rookie quarterbacks are kind of put him in the same spot. You're happy with being 4 wins. You're not really happy with, but like 5, you're like, yeah. But like anywhere between 6 to like 8 wins as a rookie, that's a winning season for you. That's a winning season. You can do that. You feel comfortable going into next year. I do see Nate says, jokes aside, describe. Thank you once again, Nate. He said, I've never played any type of fantasy league game before, so if you lose to me, Mozzie, I get bragging rights for eternity. Already like Nate. Nate's already coming in with hot fire trying to talk shit. Yeah, that is literally what we are all about. And like I said, I will have a separate Discord channel, so if y'all don't have Discord on your phones or your desktop, laptop, whatever, go ahead and download Discord. We'll drop some, I'll message some links. I'll drop a link to just our regular Discord right now. I think it's still active. If it isn't, we'll have it fixed by our next stream. But you can go ahead and join the Discord channel there. I'll invite everyone that's in the league into a private Discord, and that's just the easy way to talk mess between everybody throughout the NFL season, as well as negotiate trades, ad drops, all that stuff. full conversation. Do whatever y'all want. We just have some fun with it. We're staying inside the same division. Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars. How does Nate want us to say it? How does Nate want to say it?
Jaguars, I think.
Jaguars.
Yeah. Like, do we look like we're from Australia?
Right.
No, we're from America. We speak broken English.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop a link right now, Nate, because it didn't pop up. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
But go ahead and tell me what you think about Jacksonville.
So Jacksonville is the team I think is going to win that division. I've been talking about this man Trevor Lawrence for the last 3 seasons, and I've been in his boat with a flag. So I think he's probably going to get better and better, and he actually has gotten better and better. Last season he made a great jump, and I think this season he'll make another because they brought in another QB whisperer to help him progress. So I think they won 9 games last season, and they won 9-8, and I think this season, I'm not saying they're going to go way further past that. I'm thinking if anything, it'll either match that and still win the division, or they'll get maybe 10, maybe 11 wins.
I think they get 10 wins easy. I'm thinking more 11. I'm thinking more 11, 12. Because the one thing that a lot of people, and actually I'm willing to Ian put them. It's hard to put them above both of these teams. Because I think Baltimore and Bengals have a more solid team than them, and even Detroit a little bit. But because their division is so weak, is why I have them so high. I'm gonna slap them just somewhere. I'll slap them behind Detroit just because Nate's in here, and I want to be nice to you, Nate. But the way people also forget what you're missing out on, bro. It's not just that they brought in a new quarterback coach to help mentor Trevor and as he continues to develop. I mean, coming out of college, he was quoted as the most NFL ready quarterback of all college of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And guess who they're getting this year? After he had a great performance last year at the quarterback position, guess what kind of help he's getting? Who's coming back? Mr. Calvin Ridley, the former wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons, who got traded to Jacksonville during the time where he got suspended for gambling. It was a kind of a crappy situation. I think he was one of the guys that was basically the scapegoat of like, hey, we're gonna make an example out of you because you're the first person that got caught doing it. And he was injured. He only bet on the Falcons and like stuff like that. He just didn't understand the rules, and they laid the hammer on him, and they threw the whole book at him, and he got suspended for a whole year. Well, now he's back, and Calvin Ridley, before he got traded, before the suspension, was a top wide receiver in the NFC. He's a small, speedy guy. He reminds me of a lot of the guy from Philadelphia that made me mad last year. Who am I forgetting? Deshaun Jackson. Reminds me a lot of him. Very speedy, has good hands. He gets by any cornerback that decides to mark him, and he's been working hard, and he can't wait to get back into football. His career had just started because he had just taken that number 1 spot from Julio Jones once he got traded, got injured, had that happen, and now he's had a full year to recover, which sometimes is bad, but it also can be really good because now he hasn't been injured. He's probably 100% healthy. He's probably more healthy than he's been since college, and he's ready to go out and play with a quarterback that's trying to take over the league and be in the conversation with guys like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Herbert, Burrow, and company. I'm excited to see Jacksonville this year.
I mean, the Jacksonville Jaguars offense ranked top 10 last year, so I mean, that's saying a lot. And you have a good coaching staff. You have quality receivers coming in. Your division isn't that tough. The sky's the limit right now.
Yeah, I agree. Nate asked, when does fantasy league draft start? So Nate, once we get it filled out, I'll talk to y'all about dates. Some people need it to be done on a weekend, so we're gonna probably try for a Friday or Saturday evening. I think Friday evening is what works best for me. I got to talk to Non and everything like that. But we'll do it then. And, again, because we're working with people from all over the world, we have some people here that are just from other states, but we also have people from New Zealand, Australia, and all kinds of stuff like that. So the time isn't always perfect. Try to get there if you can. We try to get it and cooperate where everybody can be there live for it. But if you aren't, I promise you it's okay. It's free. Even the auto draft will take care of you. You win fantasy leagues by doing your ad drops and doing your trades. So But
Man,
we'll try to have it on a Friday or Saturday.
I'll say this, Nate. Last season, we had two people didn't show up to the draft, and their auto draft was probably some of the best teams in the league.
One of them was 6-0, and then he just stopped playing because I think he had some computer issues or something, or family issues, so he stopped playing, and he got auto drafted. If he would have stayed, he probably would have won the whole thing. Yeah. So yeah. All right. Next up, Kansas City Chiefs. 14 is a lot of wins, but like I don't like putting the reigning championships and a not just reigning champion, but also just phenomenal football team over the last half a decade. Not if anyone's going to go in this top spot, I feel like it has to be the Chiefs.
I mean,
do you think they digress?
I can agree with that. Do I think they you mean as like winning less than 14?
Or just digress from last year in general. Like I'm gonna keep them at 14-17 because someone has to go up there. They're the reigning champs. I got to put them there. But like, do you think they digress as a team going into this year? I don't think so. I think they get better because Pacheco's gonna be coming into his second year. He looked phenomenal last year. Kelsey and Mahomes look like they're still doing the thing. Mahomes has proven it doesn't matter who lines up at wide receiver. He's gonna find them open. They did lose Saunders, and I think they might have lost a defensive end or something like that. I can't remember for certain. So their defense might have gotten a little bit worse, which was already kind of an issue up until the middle part of the season until they finally got it. But they have a young defensive team that when they finally clicked, they were rolling. So like it's hard for me to say they're less than that. Like what do you think about them going into this coming year?
I mean,
I'm gonna use the restroom real quick, but go ahead.
I think digress is not the right word. Because I don't think they're going to digress. They're still potentially Super Bowl favorites. Let's be honest, regardless if I'm a Raiders fan or not, they are Super Bowl favorites. Now, the question is, will they win 14? Will they match or do better than what they did last season? That's the part where I'm not sure of. I think they might do less than 14. And that doesn't mean they're not going to go Super Bowl. They're still going to make the playoffs with a less than 14, especially if it's like a 10-11 range. Because last year, Chargers won 10. I don't think Chargers are winning 10. I mean, I just don't think that, with the uncertainty at the coaching staff, the issues with the injuries on that team, because they always have injuries, and it's like every season it falls apart. Yeah, but as far as Kansas City, I don't think they digress as far as a team skill. I do think as a total number of wins, they might be less than 14, but I understand why you put it 14-17.
The only reason why I think they could get less than that is because I do think Denver's going to be better this year. I think that. And then you just still never know with the Chargers. But I think without looking at their schedule, I don't think there's a team in the league that I think is like a obvious like win. I think it's just a situation of who comes off bye week, what the injury status is, what the away games look like, what time of the year it looks like, and all those different things. And that's why I have them at 14-17 because I think they are a top dog in all of the NFL, and they've proven it year after year after year. And I said this, I think last stream or the video I did for the Kansas City Chiefs, where I hope they don't start getting the hate that like Tom Brady did because they win so often. And we all know it's inevitably coming. But any of y'all young cats that are just getting into football or like kind of in their peak of like understanding everything that's going on, please take a step back every now and then. Let your fandom step aside for a half second and just appreciate the greatness that you're watching, man. Because when they retire, you don't get to watch them again, man.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Let's see. Mozzie and Nate both had Chiefs at 10-13, and I can see that as well. Like I said, I agree. I agree with that, but I'm gonna put them at the top notch. I wanted to have something that was a little bit in between these two, but it was too far. Agreed. Lions 15-2, Chiefs 10-13. Lions beat Chiefs week 1. Laugh out loud. Nate, at least you laugh out loud at your own message. Didn't Chiefs lose their best wide receiver? Who was their best wide receiver last year? Because
whoever he throws it to.
Whoever he throws it to, right. They lost Hardman, McCole Hardman. He went to the Jets. I think they maintained Juju Smith-Schuster.
Didn't Juju go to?
Oh, maybe he did. No, he did. You're right. But I don't think. But I don't think it matters because their number one wide receiver was their tight end Travis Kelce. I don't think it matters. I
And
just
we
don't think
all
it
know
matters.
Kelsey is not going anywhere until he retires.
I mean, because
The only way Kelsey leaves is if Mahomes leaves.
the thing is,
And when Mahomes
we've
leaves, that means
watched
Andy Reid leaves.
I've watched and people around my age, we've watched now Peyton Manning, his first Marvin Harrison and oh goodness, Wayne Senior. What's his name?
Oh,
Or Junior. You know what I'm talking about
brain.
though. But Marvin Harrison Senior and then whoever Wayne, I forget his first name. They were good, but he made every wide receiver look good. He made Dallas Clark look like the most athletic tight end in the league, and Dallas Clark was a blocking tight end that just could catch the ball kinda because he put it in such a good spot. We watched Drew Brees turn nobodies into should have been Pro Bowls. Like we have a guy Marcus Colson that played for the Saints, has never been elected into a Pro Bowl in his whole entire career. But he has
Reggie Wayne?
Like Reggie Wayne, that's what it is. Yeah. So like we've seen that with them. We've seen that with Aaron Rodgers. We've seen that with a lot of different players, and Patrick Mahomes is one of those guys. He makes everybody look good, just like how Tom Brady made guys like Eckler and all these dudes look phenomenal. So I don't care who he's throwing to, he's gonna make it happen. Mahomes, Kelsey is practically Brady and Gronkowski. Yes, for sure, Nate. For sure. Next up, Chargers. Tell me about the Chargers, bro. It's in your division. I really don't know what to think about them.
The Chargers, like I was saying when you stepped away for a second, it's one of the teams where they have a really good quarterback. I like Herbert, and I hate that he is in our division. I wish he was our quarterback. Yeah. Now I wish he was our quarterback. Before I still liked Derek Carr. I wasn't tripping because I mean when he came into the league, I think he threw for like 4,500 yards. Then he threw for 4,700 yards. Like he has the potential to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But the problem is, I think there's something wrong with the hierarchy of that team,
the organization,
the players,
San Diego.
Yes,
I don't know what, because it's not like they don't put money into the organization either. Like someone's a jinx. Someone is bad luck. And that's what's causing these issues to happen.
I mean,
do you think the organization's bad too?
I think it's the coaching staff might be the issue with them.
But they've switched out coaching staff so often. Like they're just unlucky and they just can't find ones that know how to click and work with it. Because when I'm telling you, out of since I've like really paid attention to football, which is probably around 2006-ish, 2004-ish. I was 8 in 2004. So it was somewhere between like 2004, 2006 when I first started paying attention. San Diego has been Super Bowl like contending favorites for like 10 years out of those 20. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And they've never. I mean, you're talking about years where they had Phillip Rivers, LaDainian Tomlinson, Antonio Gates couldn't make it happen. You have last year. I mean, even though they had injuries, but Mike Williams, he's your red zone wide receiver. Phenomenal, huge, great hands. You throw him up on a fade, should be a touchdown every day of the week. Keenan Allen, great footwork. Can get the ball inside, can do your downs when you're starting down at the 20. You have Austin Eckler. I don't think he's the greatest of running back. I will say that is one thing that I think that hurts them, because they don't have a great run game. And that's not talking crap to Eckler, because Eckler has production, but he does it in the pass and in the screen. They don't have a direct just like handoff running back that they can go and scramble and go get 10 to 15 yards. Eckler's not built like that. They tried to make Carter that guy, and then Carter kind of failed as well. Defensively, they got Joey Bosa when he's healthy, and oh god, there's another guy that plays I think middle linebacker that's really good. Like there's a
big baby.
Yeah. So like it's like why can't they get over the hump? And every year I want to put them at this 10 and 13 mark, but I can't. I got to put them at the 7 and 9, because until they prove me otherwise, regardless of what their roster looks like, I have to put them there.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that positioning right now. I agree with that positioning right now.
Yeah, I think they're high 7 or 9. Like, I think they're up there. Like, because they can get 10. They can get 10 if they decide to show up. Mm-hmm. They decide to show up. And also, just to organize this a little bit more, I think Broncos have a good chance with that too. Okay, I think I'm cool with that. Let's see. Miles said, hearing rumors they might go for J.K. Dobbins. Oh, really? I haven't heard that yet. That'd be interesting. If they go for J.K.
That would be
Dobbins, I
interesting.
think that'd be good because Dobbins can run between the lines and can go out for a screen, and especially with the problems with Eckler. That'd be bad for y'all, though. I mean, who y'all going to run behind Dobbins? Gus Edwards? That'd be tough. Chargers at the top of 7-9, bottom of 10-3. I'm with you, Nate. Next up, we're going to talk about the Los Angeles Rams. Stafford needs to retire. He won his Super Bowl. He tried to have his redemption year and see what happens. He got hurt. He did come out saying earlier this week, I think it was on Tuesday, that after getting injured and not playing the rest of the season, that this is the first time that he's felt fully healthy since like 2011 or something like that, 2015, whatever it was. He says it's the healthiest that he's felt in a long, long time. But you have no run game at all. Zero, zilch, nada, none. They were the worst running team in the NFL last year. Their defense now is riding completely on their interior. Why am I forgetting his name? The Rams that made me so mad last year. Aaron Donald is running now fully on Aaron Donald now that Jalen Ramsey is gone. They have a lot of holes to fill on defense. I still believe in Stafford because I still think Stafford's a good quarterback, but they have Cooper Kupp, and he's a great wide receiver. He had the Triple Crown or whatever everybody was talking about, but who else? Who else do you have?
I mean, they lost so many. Like, I'm looking at this list of all the key departures, and it's mostly defense. Like, so many defensive players left this team.
Aaron Donald should have retired after the Super Bowl like he said he wanted to. He should have stacked
He
his
should
money.
have.
He either should have stacked his
Should have.
money or got a huge like once in a lifetime paycheck, and then get out of that like a 2 year big paycheck, 2 year get out, retire, win a champion. That's
Well,
it, and go in your other business adventures because the Rams are going back into the hole. Because first off, the Rams, the only reason why they are relevant with golf is, and like I don't like believing the hack stuff, the gambling and you know how it's rigged and stuff like that, but as a Saints fan, watching that NFC championship game makes you feel that they just wanted the Rams to win because they're from Los Angeles and they're about to go back into the gutter.
well, I mean, like we said before last stream, that they mortgaged so much to get that team together. You know what I'm saying? And then the season after they won the Super Bowl, that first game we televised and we did live play by play, and we seen the first series, and we look at Aaron Donald and we see his freaking face on the sideline watching how pitiful his team looked.
Discouraged.
And he
A
looked
guy
like
that
he
works
in
harder
his
than
head
anyone in the NFL.
at that moment you can tell he thought I should have retired.
Yep.
You could see it on his face
Yep.
because he realized this team is not it anymore. They
Nope.
put all that money into it and all that pub, and it was in Hollywood was backing them. They had The Rock doing these featurettes for the team and all this other
Yeah,
BS.
he
Like,
had the opening game, like an opening announcement last year.
they did a full
And then they
featurette
get
with The Rock
smoked.
and Aaron Darnold. With The Rock and Aaron Darnold, they did a whole featurette talking about their dads and how their dads are these weightlifters and all this other BS. But yeah, it was so much pub for them to win. They win it, cool. Congratulations. This team is not doing what they did last year or year before last.
Yeah. When I did the predictions stuff like that, I think I did this one like it was one of my later at night ones. Like it was like probably 2, 3 in the morning, and I gave them a
Yeah.
record between 7 and 9 and stuff like that. But I
Yeah.
really don't think
I
that's
did
it.
see that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was late night. As I was editing the video, I was like, "Damn, bro, I really gave the Rams a like I forgot what they not what they have. I forgot what they don't have, which is everybody."
Yeah. They don't have anybody.
The only thing that benefits them is that we don't know how Gino's going to look second year around. I think good. I'm assuming good. I want him to do good, but we don't
I
know.
think he'll be good.
But
Yeah.
I think he will too.
Yeah.
Arizona Cardinals are ass. San Fran's going to win games. It don't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 4-6, and honestly, like Stafford should retire. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know what his contract looks like, but I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't retire at the end of this year. I'm gonna put him ahead of the Colts just because of a veteran thing, but I got him right in the middle of the 4-6. And Nate, bro, you can't tell me as a Lions fan that you're like Stafford ain't him. Sincerely, a Lions fan, because Nate, I won't take that. I won't take that Matthew
slander.
Stafford disrespect, man. Like, Matthew Stafford was a dog. The only person y'all ever gave him was Calvin Johnson, which is a lot. But that's all y'all gave him. That dude literally had like a broken or whatever, a torn whatever in his shoulder, and did a quarterback sneak to win a game. Like that dude put his body on the line. He is a more skilled quarterback, but the same passion as Baker Mayfield. If Mayfield was more skillful, he'd be like Matthew Stafford. But Stafford is him. Stafford is the guy that did the no look pass before Patrick Mahomes made it cool. He was the dude that was always under the radar, but it's because he played for the Lions. I mean, we watched Barry Sanders like not waste his career because he's still like a top 3 running back all time. I'd argue that he's number 1 off the highlights that I've seen, but he played for the Lions. He made Barry Sanders' career end shortly because he played for the Lions. You know, Stafford's a good quarterback. Las Vegas Raiders.
You were about to say Oakland Raiders.
I was about to say, I always say Oakland Raiders. Las Vegas Raiders. Garoppolo is Josh playing, bro? Is he playing?
I have no idea. I haven't heard anything about him actually playing. He already stated that he was going to skip preseason if they weren't going to, get this money situated. So, I mean, here's the thing. I'm not mad if he skips preseason. To be honest with you,
I'd be disappointed, but
he shouldn't have been in preseason last year. They made it. He was the only player that played in preseason last year. The only starter.
That's right. They did. They played him every game too. They made him work for his spot. They were ready to cut him. That's why he's so mad. They were ready to cut him during preseason. They were trying to get him off the 53.
Yes.
And then he became the whole entire offense, basically, for the most part. Wow. Yeah. I forgot about that. Oh, yeah, dude. If I'm Josh, I'm out. I'm out. That's crazy. Wow.
He plays this season. He'll probably still have a great year, and he's done. He's leaving.
Nate, yes, you can use whatever foul language you want. It might as long as it's not racial or prejudice or stuff like that. Yeah. As long as it's not directed towards someone that's in stream, or if it's like racially or prejudicially like motivated, you should be fine. You seem cool, so I don't expect any of that to happen from you. But yeah, you can say he's a dumbass or a piece of shit or whatever. You can say all that. We'll clear it. And Mozzie as a mod too. That's how it works. As long as it's not like directed towards a viewer in stream, someone in the chat. Person. It can be directed towards us. Well, as long as it's not done crazy towards us. You know, if it's something crazy towards us, then just tell them to piss off.
I mean, for the most part, the YouTube algorithm, the YouTube stuff will block stuff that's like derogatory, that's towards anybody. But regular curse words, those are pretty much fine. Yeah.
Okay. So Raiders. Let's just assume he plays. Let's just do it that way. Jimmy, Josh, Devontae. Do y'all still have Renfro?
Yes.
No Waller, no Moreau.
No, he's in
Giants, and no Moreau. He's with the Saints. Who's y'all's other wide receiver right now? Y'all lost Matt Collins, who's y'all's number 2.
I know they added Philip Brissett. They added Jacoby Myers. They added
Jacoby Myers. I don't think that's bad. I like the Jacoby, and that's also a guy that that y'all's coach wanted in the draft from too. Yeah. So I'm cool. I'm cool with that.
He had his best years under McDaniels anyway. So
yes.
Keelan Cole Sr., Chris Lacey, Cam Sims, DJ Turner, Trey Tucker. I already named everybody else. DeAndre Carter.
So I gave
Jacoby Myers, Renfro. I think even Austin Hooper will actually have pretty good years.
Hooper's the new tight end. Oh, I like Hooper. Yeah. I like Hooper.
He'll probably be the starting tight end.
Mm-hmm. So I had them around the 4 to 6 wins category. I don't think they're high in this. I think if they get 6, that's a great season for them.
I feel like I know you put them there, but I feel like if you're gonna put Denver in 7 and 9, I'm putting Raiders 7 and 9. There's no way I think Denver outplays Raiders that much.
Really, you think so?
Yeah. And I don't care if Sean Payton's there or not.
All right. Well, since I let you deal with mine, I'm putting him at the 4-6. But that's fair. I mean, but explain. Like, why do you feel that way?
Because
Why do you think they can get those
I,
wins? I mean, because
cause
the way
in
I
your
look at it.
prediction,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
you go. If you ask me, let me talk. Like,
I'm sorry. I'm rude.
because I know in your prediction you put them getting swept across the board by the AFC. I don't think that's going to happen. Not at least with not with Denver. Not with Denver. I don't
Yeah.
think that's going to happen, and I don't think that's going to happen with I keep saying San Diego with the Chargers. With Kansas City, that'll probably happen because it happened last year, but they didn't get swept by the other two teams. So, I mean, I feel like I think their penultimate season right now, if everything works out with the new coach, not new coach, but new quarterback, it'll probably be if they win the max, it'll probably be 7. That's the max I think they'll do well in. But
One sec, man.
with
One
McDaniels, I
sec,
have
man.
no freaking idea.
I'm getting we're getting frame drops. Give me a second. Let me close some stuff out.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah.
Just type in. Tell them to give me 1 second. I'm gonna close some things out. I don't know why.
All right.
Oh, you know what? I opened Discord up. I think is why.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. Let me see. No, we're still in red. We're still in red. Let's see. I think it's just internet because the kilobytes per second went back up to like 6,000, which is where I have it at.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still showing 4.1% frame drops.
They said, "Take your time, we're gonna get food."
Okay. All right. We're gonna continue like just kind of talking. Let me know if we start sounding normal again consistently, not just like for a second. I'm gonna try to close a couple different apps out on my phone and see what happens. Let me see. I'll go ahead and I'm gonna try to close Stream Deck. Hopefully that doesn't mess anything up. I don't think it will though. You can still hear me?
Yes, I can still hear you.
All right. Perfect.
Miley said it is better.
I'm still showing frame drops on my side. I'm gonna go ahead and can you open up the live stream?
I have it open already.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna close out of that on my end, and I'm just gonna open up the stream on my phone.
Okay.
And that should fix it. I think it has to be my internet, man. I don't know why all of a sudden it's been doing that a lot lately.
I know sometimes when mine does that, it's using the internet too.
Yeah, I think it's what it is, the internet.
It's 10:30. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
this is around time most people are on. So it's the streaming hours for Netflix and all the other services.
Yeah. All right. What's up? I'm gonna mute real fast and see how it looks on my end.
Oh no, back to lagging. Yeah, see on my phone it looks okay. Let me see how it looks over here. I probably say right now, you guys, if you are watching and if you're on your computers or laptop, put it to 720p and see if it'll make a difference for you guys.
Yeah, I might just have to adjust the kilobytes per second because I mean I'm still showing frame drops on the phone. It looks fine though. So
Yeah.
we'll keep it popping. Like I said last stream, I got a couple of new things, so I think for whatever reason, after a little while, it's starting to kind of run it up a little bit. Let me pull my NZXT up and see if it's.
It might be like you were saying.
It's my internet. It's my internet. My internet's dropping. I was given almost a gigabyte, and now I'm only getting 500 KB. That's what it is. That's what it is. All right, we'll keep pushing. We'll figure out the internet thing. Sorry if it's a little wonky right now and stuff like that.
It's looking okay. It's looking okay.
Yeah, it looks fine from my side too.
Yeah.
But yeah. So with the Raiders, like I said, I mean Jimmy G has been a proven winner, and this is the one thing we also have to think about is that it's a proven. Josh McDaniels, this is who he wants. So that makes a difference too. This is who he wants and how he wants to run the offense. So that is going to make a difference. He didn't want to play a West Coast style offense like he did with like Derek Carr likes. And that was shown several times that they had problems with it. So we're going to go ahead and
but that's the one thing where sorry to interrupt you, but that's the one thing where I have a problem with the situation. You don't want to play a West Coast style offense, but the quarterback you have will
It's a
be
West Coast style
best in
quarterback.
a West Coast
Yeah.
offense because he doesn't throw further than 20 yards. And that's West Coast style offense. That was created for the Niners in the 80s to throw 15 to 20 yards
But
max.
at the same time, Garoppolo, I mean, this is years ago. When he played for the Patriots, they didn't play that way either. You know, when they played, he slung that thing when he played for the Patriots. So, you know,
But
we'll see it.
he doesn't throw that. His average, he doesn't throw that
because
far.
well, he's hurt. He's hurt. He's been playing hurt now lately too. That's where I feel like you try to stretch out that shoulder, it's going to lead to some problems. But
Yeah, true.
I'm gonna keep it at 4-6. I mean, I can see what you're saying with 7-9. I do think that's a little greedy, personally. But I really think 5-6 wins in the division. I think I gave him 4 in my prediction, but I think that was a little skewed. Next up is Miami Dolphins. Boogie says that Miami Dolphins are Super Bowl contenders with Tua healthy. What do you think of that?
Wait, what?
Boogie McFarlane said that the Dolphins are championship contenders with Tua healthy.
No, they're not.
No. All right, so they're in a division with the Patriots, the Bills, and the Jets. Probably the best division in the NFL right now, right? I mean, I don't think we can argue that for the most part.
Maybe.
Where do we put the Dolphins? What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, the Dolphins last season, they won, what was it? Let me see. They won 9 games. And I know part 2 was out because of injuries.
Yep.
I am personally nervous because I don't know if Tua finishes the season.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't hate Tua. I don't hate Tua. I'm not a big fan of his, but I did see the progression in his game.
I think he's average to above average. I don't think he's a crappy quarterback. I think he's a starter in the league. Yeah. I think he's a top 15 quarterback. I think he's right there, right at 15.
Yeah, I don't think he's crappy either.
He's 12 to 17 is kind of where I put him. I put him in that middle round of the gap, like. Because, the thing is, Tyreek, we saw him underthrow, but Tyreek is such a freak of an athlete to where he can go back and grab it. And he's so open, it didn't matter if he underthrew him by 10 yards because he already beat the cornerback by 20. And then Jalen Waddle is a phenomenal wide receiver. Like he doesn't get appreciated enough at all. Like Jalen Waddle is a dude that I can't wait to have in my fantasy teams. That is a guy that I will bet high on. With Tua healthy, especially, I'm going to want Jalen Waddle. I really wish they would have grabbed Dalvin Cook. I really, really don't understand why they didn't to incorporate that on their team and have a true run and pass offense. Whereas when Tua was in, they just threw the ball for the most part, and the runs were just like, oh, yeah, because you've got to throw a run in there, not because you actually want to do anything with that run. But if you bring in a guy like Dalvin Cook, now the run actually becomes a precedent in your offense. And that's that kind of that pissed me off, but like I'm just like, why not? Like, just pay the dude. Y'all got money, pay him. Why not? Get him in there because you got Xavier Howard, you got Jalen Ramsey on defense, you got a good tight end that's willing to block and catch. He didn't even really catch the ball. Even they took his offense out of the game last year because their wide receivers are so dominant. He can still catch the ball, and he's been blocking a lot better. On paper, they have a great team. And I like the coach. He's quirky, a little weird, not your typical NFL coach, but I think he's good.
Oh yeah, I think he's going to be really good in his later career. I think right now we're just seeing some early developments and how good his potential is. I think he, as a coach, long term wise, I think he's going to be really good.
Nate said, weren't they talking about Tua retiring last year because of concussions? They were saying that he probably should have, which I kind of agree to. But I mean, when you love the game of football and stuff like that, you're just gonna deal with it. But like, for his own health and stuff like that, I wish he would. I mean, the ones he got were so bad, and a lot of it is his own body control too. Like, and I hope that's something that he works with. Like, he needs to do neck strengthening exercises because a lot of the tackles they had, even though they are now illegal in today's NFL, they weren't illegal in previous years. He needs to work on strength in his neck to where when he gets tackled, even though it's a sling and like it looks bad nowadays, that was a normal sack back in the day. He needs to build up more muscles in his neck to be able to have, when he gets tackled and dragged to the ground, that his neck ain't banging. right on the back of the pavement or where the turf.
I mean, the real issue is he's right now in the Steve Young situation. One more actual concussion, he's done. There is no questions about it.
I can't
One
imagine
more
anything else. It has to be right. I feel
because Steve Young got 3 majors and they forced him to retire. It's going to be the same thing for Tua.
and I'm surprised. It hasn't been sooner because of how the game has changed since then. I mean, that's '90s, right?
Yeah,
Like Steve Young was '90s, like early 2000s, 2001,
yeah,
2002 is when he retired, I think, right?
yeah. And like I said, they forced him to retire.
Yeah. I hope he's healthy because you know what the thing is with Tua is that I feel like Tua got given the moment too soon
Hmm.
because yeah, and I'm going all the way back to the college days when he took over the job for Jalen Hurts. He was given a team that won a
Oh yeah,
championship, and he went and won it and finished the deal, and he played great that game. Let's no doubt about it. But college and NFL is very different. He didn't go through the struggles of playing different teams and stuff like that. He got full coached up for one game, and they were like, "Yep, you're starting because you're the best for this team," and he kind of got thrown in. And last year, he showed that he could play against other teams. Now that he has a nice foundation around him and stuff like that, he has all the ability. But this division is tough with the Bills and the Jets. So and saying all that, where do you have him, man? What are your thoughts?
I'll be generous and just based off him being healthy and say I'll give him the 10 to 13.
I think so. Do you think he's? I got him above Cowboys. I think. Where do you have him
Uh,
kind of in
I'll
here?
probably put him after Detroit.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. I was
Yeah,
flipping between in front of Detroit after Detroit. It's kind of what I was thinking.
yeah.
I did see Spoil Fit in the building. What? Hey, yo, Spoil, my guy. How you been living, brother? He
What
said.
up? What up? What up?
He said just saw CJ Stroud film after the game. How do you look, Spoil? We honestly we're terrible like sports commentators, bro. Because we were so worried about the stream. I forgot there was a Thursday night game. I didn't know they did Thursday night preseasons. If we want to be honest with you, so I didn't even watch it. How do you look, Spoil?
Yeah, I
Nate
didn't see
said,
part.
thanks for letting me know how to steal from you on fantasy. I'll give you tips and tricks, bro, or I might be baiting you. You don't even know, bro. One more said, yep, agreed. Read my mind exactly. Spoiled said his pocket awareness is going to be a problem. His reading progression is pretty low. Reading of defense might need to study film. It's his first game, though. Yeah, and that's like any rookie, and that's why we had the text at 4 and 6. I actually really like CJ Stroud. I think he's gonna be really good. I think he's very athletic.
Mhm.
I think he has a good arm. Uh, I think he'll be fine, but he's going to take 2 to 3 years. It just sucks that like really good quarterbacks come into the crappiest of situations of going to losing teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you're a quarterback coming out of college, this is a side topic. Maybe we need to start writing down ideas for like debate shows, and this would actually be a really good one for the ECG crew, which is if you're a college quarterback, do you rather get drafted first overall, like money aside, first overall, or do you rather get drafted in the second round where you're not going to start the first year? Because I feel like your career is more hopeful if you're drafted in the second round to a team that has some type of identity, but they're looking for someone to take over in the next 2 or 3 years. I mean, look
Well,
at
I
Patrick
mean,
Mahomes. That's how it was for him. He got
yeah.
drafted late, mid first round, learned under Alex Smith for 2 years, and now he's people are trying to debate the craziest of that he's the best NFL quarterback to ever live. But the fact that he's went from that to now this, it shows that it makes sense that
Yeah.
when was Drew Brees picked up? When was Peyton Manning picked up? When was Tom Brady picked up? When was Aaron Rodgers picked up? How long did they wait until they became starter? Because Drew
I mean,
sat underneath for 2 years. Tom sat underneath for 2 years. Aaron Rodgers sat
but
underneath for two
only
years.
reason only reason
What
Brady even played is because Drew Bledsoe got injured.
got injured? Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's again. That's what I'm saying. It's like you're almost better to be drafted late than early. You might get the bag sooner, which is good because you don't know what's going to happen to you. You might get injured first week, but as far as the situation of being a championship winning quarterback or in a great organization that can run the league or be in top of the league for the next decade while you play, it's almost better to not get drafted first. Because you can almost assume
Yeah.
that Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson, and CJ Stroud, as talented as we think they all are, I think this is the best quarterback class we've had in a while. Next year, we're going to have the guy from USC, Caleb Williams, who's going to be really good. But there's no telling what's going to happen to him. It's all going to be based within the next 3 years. The only person that has really good hope is honestly Bryce Young, because all the quarterbacks in his division are the best one is Derek Carr right now, and people have doubts. As a Saints fan, I think I'm very hopeful,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
he's in the best situation.
Yeah. I agree.
Spold said, "Hey guys, I'm gonna be coming back on my channel and be for act for it's cool with y'all on Saturday. Wait, hey guys, I'm gonna be coming back on my channel and be for active if it's cool with y'all on Saturday. Can y'all help me set up my stream, because that's been a problem that I've been lazy to fix myself." Yeah, Spold, just message us, man. Just message us. Let us know. We're not free every Saturday, or every day, but yeah, just message us, man. You know we got you, baby.
Hello, Pammy Whammy. She says, "Hello, gentlemen. Who that baby? What's up, Pammy?"
Pammy in the building. What's up, Pammy?
Nate says, "Debate show Detroit versus everybody."
No, there we go. Maya say, "Hey guys, sorry I can't stay in the stream longer. I have to go and help out. Hey, well, at the funeral, goodness. Well, hey, prayers up for you, the fam, and whoever passed and stuff definitely. Like that. Take care of your business, Maya. We'll talk to you soon, brother. Love you, man.
Condolences to you and the family, man.
For sure." Said Texans overall team's gonna have another top 5 pick again. Depth and no lines off of wideouts off of that corner. Yeah, agree. All right, we'll keep pushing here. We've been kind of going slow, just kind of talking BS with you guys. You know, we like to read the comments and like to BS with everybody. Next up, we got Minnesota Vikings. Back in this weird division with Green Bay and Detroit. I mean, I think this is the debate of where do we see them between here. You know, with the Lions and with the Bears, I think they're better than the Bears. I think they have the best odds to win the division again, but I think Detroit can be the sneaky one to take it. They lost Adam Thielen, which is fine. They had the other wide receiver that started to shine out. I'm forgetting his name now. I can literally see his face, and that's weird because you know they don't see the players without a helmet on, but I can see his I can see his dang face. The wide receiver that came in, he had like a 3 touchdown game, and I think it was in week 13 or 14. But I even without Dalvin Cook, I think Madison is kind of a good interchangeable player. He's played for Dalvin Cook when he's been hurt, and he's played well. Kirk Cousins, you know, coming off the quarterback show where people are finally starting to give him his respect a little bit, but can he win the big ones? That is something that we haven't seen yet. What do we think of Minnesota Vikings?
Well, Vikings went 13-4. It was almost like a quiet 13-4 because no one expected it to happen. But when they got there, no one expected them to go further than what they really did. And I don't know if they're going to win 13 again because I do feel like the division has gotten better. The league, for the most part, most teams have gradually got better. But I'm going to say I'm going to be generous. I'm going to give them a 10-13, but I'm only thinking like 10, maybe 10 wins.
That's what I'm thinking too. I think Detroit gets the edge over them this year. I think Detroit does. I think Detroit gets the edge over them this year. I could even see them dropping to the 9, the high 9. But I'm cool. I'm cool with 10. I think Detroit gets the edge. I think they have a good team, but if y'all put Vikings above the line, no, we go. Nate, we're trying to keep your subscription, bro. We're trying to keep your subscription.
We're going to come back.
The Spoiled said Patriots cornerback depth is amazing. Bill just really good at drafting corners. Well, I mean, that's great that he's good at drafting corners in an offensive league nowadays. You know, that'd have been great 15 years ago. Patriots. Juju Smith-Schuster, wide receiver. Mac Jones. Does it make a difference?
Mike Gesicki, a tight end.
Gesicki did get picked up, huh? I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And with Henry too? Is Henry still there? I believe so.
Yeah.
Like I said, I watched a couple of videos and people were like dogging on people saying that they were getting under 7 wins. They think they have like 9 to 10 wins in their system. I don't see it, bro. I think they're last in the division this year.
Let me see. Let me look at the actual division.
They got.
Oh yeah.
Jets, Dolphins, and Bills. Like, I think if it's not this year, it's next year. Bill retires and they regroup. So where
I don't think he retire. He's not retiring. He might he might get fired and go to another team as like as a coordinator, offensive coordinator, because he actually is pretty good at offensive
He's not
coordinator.
gonna go. He's not gonna go from head
But
coach to coordinator. He's too
but
old.
he's not. He I don't know if he's retiring. You understand how some of these coordinators actually how old they really are?
Yeah, no, but not a what 6 time or 5 time six or 5 time championship winner. He ain't going back to coordinator. Ain't no way Bill Belichick doing
The
that. Ain't no shot.
only way he retires is if his wife forces him to retire.
That's
He's
probably true too. He's in love with football. Like he in love with football more than his wife. That's for sure.
he's like Jordan. They don't know how to walk away.
So do we put them like? 'Cause, I mean, I think we just cut this short. I don't even feel like arguing about this. People that want to argue that the Patriots are better than 4 to 6 wins, I think you're delusional. And like I'm a Saints fan, I'm delusional. I think you're delusional. Do we put them more likely to get 6 wins than the Packers? Because I don't think so. I don't know.
No,
I think
no.
5 to 6 wins. So like I can go either or with these.
I'll put after Packers after the Packers.
At the Packers, I'm cool with after the Packers.
Yeah.
I would probably also put Panthers there just because I just don't know. It's a rookie quarterback, but I think he has the most potential. But these two could flip.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Paul said talent at running back and Andrews Pete by get replaced, but at least overall play calling because of last year Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael. I'm definitely watching those plays. Well, oh yeah, we're at the Saints now, so that's perfect. We'll talk about that a little bit. I'm gonna use actually let me go run to the restroom. I'm sorry, my bladder is small, and Mozzie's not here to tell me small bladder, man. But give me 1 second. We'll talk about them if you want to go over some comments.
Oh, I'm gonna look at the comments. Sorry about that, you guys. My camera. It's my cords. My cords have been sitting like this for several years, so now they get loose after over time. I wish I had a bigger desk, but let's see what we got. What we got. What we got. Okay. Last thing he says, if y'all put, wait, see that. To all the Saints fans, first preseason game. I'm what to look into. Wait, I'm look at the spoil. Can I get you the English better? So I want to look at it in this game, a defensive end battle between Granderson and Foskey, cornerback between Adebo Taylor, Robbie for number 2 spot, wideouts overall, talent running back, Andreas Pete might get replaced last but least overall. Play calling the biggest issue. Last year, there's Allen and Pete Carmichael. I'm definitely watching at those play calls. So you have a small bladder. Yes, he does. Once
I
he
do.
breaks a seal, it's a wrap.
Well, and I've been drinking a lot of water lately too. I've been
Mhm.
drinking a lot of water, and I haven't drank in like a week or something like that. So like I drank like 3 beers, and I was like, oh, that's it. All right, so Saints. All right, give me your spiel first, and then I'll say what I gotta say.
Well, like I said, like I was telling you before, I think the Saints have good potential, have high potential. I'm curious as how the offensive coordinator Carmichael is going to do this season with Derek Carr at the helm. I hope that he learns from his past season mistakes, and because Sean Payton's not there to correct him when he's making his mistakes, so it's really all on him. Dennis Allen is not a offensive coordinator; he's a defensive coordinator, and he's a damn good one. So I think your defense is going to be good. The offense, I think, is in the first 4 games. I think it's going to be shaky, but I
Yeah.
think it will correct itself over time. And
Mm-hmm.
I do believe you guys will have a good season. Um, let me see, last season you guys won 7. I'm going to put you in the 7 and 9 range, but
Yeah.
I'm thinking 9, possibly 10, to be honest. But I'll say 7 and 9 is being generous. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
I mean I think you're kind of spot on with that, man. Like I would love like I think not like I said before. I think NFC South like 9 wins for a lot like 3 of the teams except for Tampa is kind of a good bet.
Hmm.
We brought in John Gruden to help kind of be a supporting cast to help with coaching up for Derek Carr. Him and Pete Carmichael came up with some different play sets and schemes and stuff like that works for him. Also having a veteran quarterback, a quarterback that even though hasn't had the most success in the NFL has confidence in his play, and so he actually communicates with the coaching staff and everything like that is important.
Yeah.
That's probably been the biggest difference in training camp this year with him as compared to Jameis. Whenever things went wrong, he sat with his wide receivers and told them like, "No, I need you to do this whenever we call this is the route that I want you to run. This is how I want you to run it. And then they've
Yeah.
also had vice versa conversation where it's like, look, I need you to put this ball here instead of there when I run this route because that's where I like to catch it at. And they've had that back and forth conversation. I'm excited to see plays being called up at the actual line and not just from the huddle and then being like, okay, that's what we're running. I'm really excited about
Yeah.
that. And again, this comes down to this is the team that they want. I hope that Pete Carmichael and Dennis Allen aren't trying to just be the past versions of Sean Payton and just decide to be themselves as a head coach and take on that role uh, and play their style of football. And I think we win the division this year. I mean, obviously, as a Saints fan, I'm going to say that. I think Atlanta and Carolina can both be on our tail. It just depends on who shows up because, I mean, we just have no idea. We've dealt with a lot of injuries. We have a older roster for the most part. MT being healthy is such a game changer, but there's no telling if he is. Luckily, Kamara's only suspended 3 games, so that's really good for us as well. Marshawn Lattimore has had one of the best camps that he's had in the last 2 or 3 years. There's been good competition for the CB2 spot between Alontae Taylor and Adebo. Finally having a 3 running back team again is actually kind of exciting, even though we got to wait to see that till week 4. Bringing in Jimmy Graham, the vet, to work and help with Juwan Johnson's development as a pass catcher and a route runner is going to be great. So, I mean, there's exciting things going with the Saints. So I'm cool. I'm cool with that 7 or 9 ranking. I think 10 as a Saints fan, I think 10 to 11 games is what we can win, but especially with our easy schedule. But I think 7 or 9 is reasonable.
I mean, well, a lot of people that don't know the connection between Dennis Allen and Derek Carr is Dennis Allen's first time, coaching, being the lead coach, is the year that Derek Carr was drafted. Derek Carr became starting quarterback because of Dennis Allen.
Yeah,
he actually beat out, I think, I want to say like Matt Schaub and a few other veterans. So
yes.
He actually ended up becoming the starting QB because of Dennis Allen. So I think they've had a relationship for a very long time. That's when last season, and in postseason when he went over there to meet with them, I even told Zach before the meeting he's going to sign with them. I have a feeling about it.
It was written on the wall.
I have. I mean, they also brought over Jonathan Abram, who comes from the Raiders. They brought over Brian Edwards, who comes from the Raiders. They're bringing Foster Rose, comes from the Raiders. They're bringing other pieces, and don't be surprised that after this season, they're going to bring some more pieces.
Oh, there's always been talk that it's possible to get Devontae Adams if this season goes well. I can see Devontae Adams going there. They tried to trade for Renfro, which I love Renfro, but there's still some questions that I have for him. I think he instantly takes the wide receiver 3 spot from us, or well, not wide receiver. Him and Rasheed would fight for that, but he definitely takes Dolph 17's favorite wide receiver. But he gives good blocking, and like we keep saying that you don't want a wide receiver to be good at blocking, but he does, and it serves a point. But next up, we got the Giants with Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley finally signed, Sterling Shepard re-signed. Offensive line is still kind of trash, but the one thing that Daniel Jones did last year was play with a lot of heart, and he didn't make excuses. Yeah. He just tried to go out there and win games, which is something that I respect. And he's one of the few, and Saquon being one of the few guys that wanted a new contract that actually got it is also kind of big because that's going to kind of bring a little bit more confidence within their whole team. And, they don't have to worry about battling with each other, even though Daniel Jones might have got paid a little too much. But I think things should be fine. Where do you have the Giants?
I think they have the same – they'll probably be at the same total they had last season or like a game or two underneath. Yeah.
You really think a game or two underneath too?
It just depends. It just depends.
It depends on Dallas is the thing. I think I don't want to go and jump and say because I think Dallas is an overall better team than the Giants, but I think Dallas can also collapse more than what Dallas knows what they have. I'm sorry, Giants know what they have. Dallas have an idea of what they have. And I feel like Dallas can try to do something that's past their capabilities. And Giants can jump them, but I'm kind of with you. I have them somewhere, somewhere in here, range. Maybe there.
Yeah, I'm good with that too.
Next up, New York Jets. We got Aaron Rodgers. We got McCole Hardman. We got Garrett Wilson. I think got hurt. I'm not sure what his injury report is. They got a couple different. couple different running backs that they're working with. The rookie I think they traded for somebody as well. Defense was stout last year. Coaching from Salah has been great. They're looking to make a splash. I mean, how long has it been since the Jets made the playoffs? It's been a while.
It's been a minute. Trying to see if let's see what I can find out.
Sproles said tight end's not really too hype about. Basically, Saints wanted to draft a tight end, but decided to take a running back in the third instead. You're not excited about our tight ends? I'm really cool with our tight ends, Spool. Defense, the Cam Gordon sidekick needs to be proven through his season. Yeah, I agree with that. But cornerback, it's been a battle between Roby and Taylor. Yeah, the battle between Roby and Taylor has been great.
So
the biggest concern is the defensive line, how they're going to perform. I think they're going to be well though, like with the addition of Saunders. But
so since the 1st of August, they have a few players that are out. Dwayne Brown is currently out. Chaz Surratt, who's a linebacker, he's questionable. He's currently out. Malik Hall, linebacker, is currently out on injured reserve. Hamza Nasruddin is currently out, linebacker. Yadni Kajusti is out, offensive tackle, currently out. Sauce Gardner, currently out. And Garrett Wilson, receiver, currently out. Ankle, hamstring, undisclosed, neck, undisclosed. And then everybody, they didn't tell them, they didn't say what the other injuries
are. It's always hard to tell until like the actual week one when they give a true report. Because they just aren't going to practice because it's just not worth it. But it is interesting going into it.
Yeah.
I mean, if everybody's healthy, I mean, what do we think about the Jets this year?
I would say, I mean, last season they won, what was it, 7 games. And that's with uncertainty at the quarterback position. That's with injuries at the running back position, injury at the wide receiver position, injury at the quarterback position. So I say they're a 9 or 10 win team.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I think they can be better than the Dolphins. If both teams are healthy, it's like where do I want to put them? Rodgers had a bad year last year. We talked about it on the last stream where we think he might be trying to cover face all of a sudden, having good conversations with the rookies and the young bucks, have good relationships with the coaches. You called it a honeymoon phase, which I can't agree more with. And how long does it last? Because either Dolphins are getting 9 wins or the Jets are getting 10 wins. Like I don't think they can all be there because I think the Bills are going to be up in that 10 to 13 spot. So, like, where would you like to put them? Where do you feel comfortable with? If anything, at the lowest, I think I have them at the top of this 7 and 9.
I would say I'm comfortable. I'll put them at the 9-win range.
Yeah, comfortable with that. It's gonna be a tough battle. AFC is gonna be fun this year. I mean, we'll look at that right at the end, but it's gonna be fun. Next up, reigning Super Bowl contenders, Philadelphia Eagles. They lost a lot of players, but also improved in a lot of spots that they lost. They went ahead and grabbed DeAndre Swift. They no longer have Miles Sanders. They're working with the other 2 running backs that they had on their squad previously. Still with A.J. Brown and the Slim Reaper that they got from Alabama, who's fully healthy again and making some phenomenal catches in camp. They had some NFL rule changes, which they'll adjust to. Where we have the former Super Bowl contenders, man?
Well, they just like the Chiefs ended the season with 14-3 win, 14-3 record. Like I said, I think they're still going to have a good season. I feel like the same thing I said about the Chiefs. I'm looking at 11, possibly 12 wins for them.
Yeah,
I want to see them do good. I want to see them win a Super Bowl.
Me too. I really like Jalen Hurts, man. Me too.
I really like Jalen Hurts. I think if not for a few bad decisions in the offensive scheme last year, they probably would have won.
If their defense didn't collapse in the last game, they win.
Yeah,
I think they have a chance to beat the Chiefs.
For whatever reason, they changed up their scheme, man, the last freaking quarter, and that just killed them. Like, what were you doing?
Yeah, killed them. Yeah. I'm gonna put them at the high 10 to 13. I think that they're in even though the NFC East, right? Yeah, East has
Yes, NFC East. Yeah.
has become more competitive over the last 3 years. I still think they're the obvious number one. I think they're better than the Cowboys. They're better than the Giants.
Hmm.
Like 14 is a lot of wins to give. Like we even said that with the Chiefs, 14 is a lot of wins to give. I mean, that's only losing what 3 games. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of
You lose
crazy.
three.
But I think they're at that 12 to like 14 to 15 when team. Like I think they stayed the same. Their defense is solid. They got one of the best. They got one of the craziest fan bases, but also one of the best fan bases as far as like how they stand by the team when they're winning. Like they have that. They got everything going for them. So I like that spot.
When you look at their actual like not record, but their season schedule, I mean, they do. Of course, they play their division rivals, but I can see them beating their division rivals fairly. I mean, not easy, but I can see them
Yeah,
beating them.
possible. Yeah,
Uh, they have the Chiefs, the Niners, the Bills. Those might be
it's a
the
tough
toughest games
schedule.
on their schedule.
It's a tough schedule. Yeah.
And the Jets, if the Jets come together, but I can still. So 14 technically isn't out of range when you look at that schedule.
No,
It is
it's not.
tough, but the Eagles
Yeah,
are a
because
good
you
team.
have to sweep your division to do that. Because I mean, you're
Yeah.
gonna figure you're gonna drop at least two to those top three teams. You would think. I mean, they
Mhm.
might be able to win two, or might be able to win three, but like you would assume they'll drop at least two, and then they'd have to sweep their division. Yeah, I think this is a good spot for them. I think 14 is very possible, but I think it's hard.
Yeah, I agree. I
Next
agree.
team up is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers. Kenny Pickett, Pickens is again doing some crazy stuff at the wide receiver position. Dejounte Johnson is looking healthy, looking really good. Najee, my dog kept calling him Marshall because of the Pelicans, but
Yeah,
Najee been doing his thing at the running back position. He got injured last year. Assume he's gonna be back healthy this year. What do we think about the Steelers? They still have a really good defense. They're in division with the Bengals, Ravens, and Browns. I think they're better than the Browns.
I mean Pickett did end the season off really well. He had probably, I think, the last 6 to 7 games. Even though they didn't win them all, he still did well. He was a
Very
top
well.
five. He was a top 15 in passer rating. He was seventh lowest turnover ratio in the last part of the season.
That's really good.
He did really well. He did really well. Um, and of course, they won 9 games, right?
Yeah.
I'm still at about the same number for them. Like
I
I
don't
don't
see them.
see them going
I don't.
bananas with it.
Yeah, they're not going up high, much higher. They may get 10, but they may get 8. You know, like
Yeah,
that's kind of how I see it. I think they float in between there. I kind of want to put them there. Kind of want
that's
to put
fine.
them there. Next up, Seattle Seahawks. Geno Smith, Metcalf, in Najigba, the rookie wide receiver that's kind of going to eventually fill the role of the Tyler Lockett spot.
Hmm.
Metcalf, they got Walker, who should be back healthy, which was dominant when he was healthy. Decent defense. Where are we looking at? Where are we looking at Seattle? They play against San Fran, Rams, and Cardinals.
I think they sweep the Rams
Yep.
and possibly sweep the Cardinals.
Yep. So that's 4.
Uh, I think they will be second in the division behind the Niners because for whatever reason, Niners, no matter who's at the rim, always wins.
I think they
Um,
split with Niners. I think they go, so it's 5.
I I do agree with you on that. Uh,
It's where they go with the rest of the division. They don't have a crazy tough schedule. Their opening weeks are kind of weird. Like I believe they play Ravens. They play I believe they play
yeah,
Cincy.
they start with
Um,
Rams, Lions,
play
Panthers,
Lions. Yeah,
Giants, Bengals, Cardinals, Browns. Their first 6 or 7 games, they
it's
can
hard.
look pretty good.
It's hard. Yeah,
They can look pretty good though. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? I I'm gonna
I'm
say
on.
nine. I'm gonna say nine wins. And you know what? I am not mad at where you put them. I'm
Yeah,
not mad with the
really think that's where I get him. I mean, as a Saints fan, I want to put the Saints there just because our division's even weaker.
yeah.
I mean, I like what Gino did. I want to see what he does with his second year with full trust in him. I mean, like how
Yes.
many quarterbacks do you know like go through the ringer of all the different teams that they played for as a backup, and then all of a sudden you get a big contract at how old is he now? Like 31.
Probably,
You
yeah, about that one there too.
you know, and you get a contract now to be a starter. Was it worth it? Now there's a lot of weight on your shoulder. Before it was Gino or Lockett. Oh, I mean, I'm sorry, not or what's it? Drew, yeah, Drew Lockett, right? Yeah,
Yes.
it was like Gino or Lockett. It's like,
Or
oh,
Drew Lock, whatever his
Drew
name is.
Lock.
Yeah.
That's what it's Lock.
Yeah.
It's like, what and what? There's no pressure. You just perform, and then if it happens, it happens. Now you got paid the big bucks. Now the pressure's on. Let's see how Gino performs with the pressure on him. Nate said, "Ain't Gino like 40 years old?" He is, bro. That's what I'm saying. That's where I get nervous with. But I think Gino, if he would have started his career out 5 years ago, he'd be looking at a top 10 quarterback in the league. But he started before his time. Like people didn't believe in
Yeah.
athletic quarterbacks like that. He wasn't. Lamar was the quarterback that changed everything. Like where everybody was like, athletic quarterback is what you need. Gino came like 3 years before that, and they weren't ready to make that switch because he wasn't dominant at that yet. Like he didn't make the NFL worry and change their play scheme. But now that the NFL plays to it, he does do well. Sam Pryor, appreciate you for subscribing. Much love, my brother.
Welcome to the channel.
I think he's 31. Nate. I'm not exactly sure what the I can tell you right now.
I was trying to look it up real quick.
Geno Smith, 32. He's 32.
Yeah.
Next up, 49ers. We just talked about. The thing with 49ers is like a part of me really just as we watch the games in a way that Shanahan coaches that team, it's so excellent. Like they got a top running back. They got Brandon Ayuk. They got Debo Samuels. They got Mr. Irrelevant that played really well. Behind him, they still have their number 3 overall pick that they grabbed a couple years back that just hasn't panned out the right way. Their defense is solid. It helps them win games. They make football look easy. They play old school football in a new school football league, and they still win games, which is the craziest part about it. And like it, I don't want to say 14 to 17 wins, but it's hard for me to say they get under 10. But at the same time, you look at a second-year quarterback like Purdy that didn't do anything excellent to get there. Like let's just be honest.
Yeah.
It's not like he played phenomenal. It was like he won games. He was just there and didn't make mistakes. He limited mistakes. If they get a quarterback that limits mistakes, they're good. And they're going to have Elijah Mitchell back too. Where do you put him?
The Niners are a team where, because all the other parts of the team play at such a high clip, it's weird to say that the QB doesn't have to be all American. He doesn't have to be the best QB in the league. He just has to do enough to get the ball where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Because they have so many talented players on offense and defense.
Yep.
I won't say it doesn't matter, but it almost doesn't matter sometimes, depending on who they play. I'm gonna say, as far as their wins, I'm gonna say 10 to 11, maybe. Yeah, 10 or 11 wins. That's what I'm thinking.
So you got them like
They're probably close to the Dolphins, maybe behind the Dolphins, maybe.
behind Dolphins. I think I'm gonna go ahead of the Dolphins just because their division's weak. Just because their division's weak. Other than Seahawks,
I can see that.
Tampa.
I can see
All right, there we go. Baker Mayfield, Kyle Trask, whoever's there doesn't matter. They don't have Leonard Fournette anymore. They don't even know. I don't even know who their starting running back is, and they're in my division. That's how little I care about them, or how little I think their talent is there. Lost a bunch of their defensive pieces. Still love Chris Godwin. Love Mike Evans. I think they're both very elite wide receivers in the league. But who's throwing them the ball? Neither one of them, I think, are efficient. And not saying that I really realistically think they're going to get just 3 wins. Like, I mean, they probably could edge into that 4th. I think they're better. I off a quarterback play, I'm putting them behind the Cardinals. They're better than the Cardinals in just about every other way than that. So I could see that switch, but so I'll put them there. I don't think they're going to be that great, bro.
I don't think they'll be that great either. So I'm in the same boat as you
Yeah.
are.
Tampa has been a team. It's either they win a Super Bowl or they're bottom of the league. That's how they've been. They have one of the worst win loss ratios since they've been a team in the NFL for the most part. But when they win, they they've had when they've had a winning record, their percentage of like winning record to Super Bowl wins is actually like not that
Yeah.
bad. You know, so I'll put them there. Uh, we got our Tennessee Titans, Ryan Tannehill. I think eventually at some point in the season, even Tannehill got injured last year. That's why they brought in Malik. I think we're going to see that same thing happen. Maybe not because of injury, just trying to see where they stand as a future. Got Derrick Henry. They did get DeAndre Hopkins, which I think does make a difference. I mean, I think that brings him back towards the AJ Brown days. He's just older and not quite as athletic anymore, but he still has some of the best hands in the league. I think the rookie they had last year, I'm forgetting his name now, wide receiver, I think he was pretty good. They dealt with a lot of injuries the last 2 years. Still were able to rack up some wins. What do we think of the Titans?
The Titans are a team where they need to get rid of the store. That quarterback has to go. He has. I don't understand. I don't understand how he still is a starting QB in the league. The deficiency of this team has always been at that QB position more than anything else on that team.
I mean, the year they won the division and they lost first round was because Tannehill threw 3 straight picks.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
that's what
going
that's
to
what kills me.
say
I think they end up being better than the Colts because they got too much crap going on. They're definitely not
I
better
mean,
than the Jags. They're better than the Texans. I mean, I think they're in the 7 to 9 range is what I think. But like
I
skill wise, if it wasn't for that they're playing against the Colts and the Texans, I could see
yeah
6 wins. Like I'm
yeah.
cool with like maybe here behind the Giants, from the Falcons behind the Giants.
I mean, because when how I am when it comes to that QB, I put him behind the Browns. That's just because that QB, man, that QB is just. I don't understand. It's it's a conversation that this stream is not ready to get into. Why certain QBs still stay in the league has nothing to do with their talent and all to do with other things. It's
If they would have had a bad season, he'd have been gone already. If we would have grabbed the first round quarterback,
oh yeah, they would
get
have
him
grabbed. They
Winston.
would have grabbed. Yeah, I do agree with it. If they lost that many games and became, was able to draft top number one overall and pick a quarterback, yeah, I can see that. But even still, I could see them being like, "Oh, we're going to grab him. We're going to let him learn behind the starter, and then bring him in a season a season after, or let him not the rookie not start right away, and he might end up winning the role. I don't know. Did he just leave? Oh, he's on his phone. But I mean, let's see. 49ers made it through the playoffs with 3 different quarterbacks. True. Titans 7-9 low key. Is that in our public opinion? No, it's not because it's not Nate. Because unfortunately, like I said, the QB position is a question mark because it has not been good. It just has not been good for them. And
Yeah,
I don't know why people keep bringing this guy back. He
yeah,
shouldn't. He's a backup. He is a glorified backup.
yeah. I agree. Next up, we got Washington Commanders. Commanders have improved on their defense, but they are possibly still like in the work, like possibly trading Chase Young, who's been injured a lot. I'm not even sure who their starting quarterback is. I thought it was. I thought it was. What's his name? From
You pull up their depth chart real quick.
right now, it shows Jacoby Brissett.
I see Sam Howell on ESPN.
Let me see.
Sam Howell, Jacoby Brissett, and Jake Fromm.
Wait, Sam Howell, Jacoby Brissett, and who is Sam
Jake
Howell, and why is he the
Jake
starter?
Jake
Who's
Fromm.
who's this Sam Howell guy? Because I thought it was Carson Wentz, but I think didn't Carson Wentz get traded?
Remember Sam Howell was the pitcher when we did the quarterback when he was like, "Who is that?" And I was like,
Yeah,
"That's Sam
yeah, no, I
Howell."
remember, but I'm
He was
still
like,
like
"Who
I'm
is
trying to
that?"
remember like why does he matter? Is what I'm trying to figure out.
Oh well, let me see. I go when I clicked over to the ESPN page to look at Sam Howell. It says the Washington Commanders says Sam Howell is starting QB. It's a video that popped up and it says that's what it says.
Who do you play for?
He came from North Carolina. He was third. He has third most passing yards in ACC history.
It's North Carolina. This ain't basketball.
I know, but he has the third most passing yards in the history of that division.
Wow.
So that's what I'm like. But he said, command. As soon as I clicked over, it says Commander say Sam Howell was starting QB.
Okay. All right. Well, and all that being said, what's your thoughts?
I'm still
Because Nate's saying Washington top of 7-9. No way, really? Like, am I really like underestimating Washington like this?
I want to see what
I would say bottom 7-9.
Oh, he's saying top of that. Oh yeah, no, I don't want. I would.
I must be missing something with the Commanders, bro. Like I just have to be, I guess. I know their defense was good last year. I do know that, and a lot of their problems came from the quarterback position, inconsistency between whether it was Heineke or Wentz. McLaurin was good. Dotson, the rookie, came out. He played really good. He had a couple decent games.
Here's the thing.
You have the running back in Robinson who got shot that came back. He didn't look full healthy. Should be full healthy this year. And then you had what was it, Gibson and McKissick, but I think McKissick got traded. So it's Gibson and then Brian Robinson as the two running backs. Like, it just don't even sound like a team that's going to go ahead. Because when you're talking about like 7-9, you're talking about 9 wins. Can win a division. It could be in playoffs. It could be a wild card.
But the reason why they probably will do well this year and probably get 7-9 wins is because Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator that left Kansas City.
But there's also been problems. Now apparently they said it all's been scratched out, but apparently there's been problems because players don't like that Bieniemy is holding them accountable and has been getting like loud and rude with them, and they've came out and actually talked to him like, hey, we don't like the way you talk to us, like type of situation. And it's like
what's going to change? What's going to change is the older players are going to say, where did he come from? And they're going to say, oh, Kansas City. They're going to say, how many titles does he have? Oh, he has 4. Whatever.
They should respect him.
And then they're going to be like, you need to shut the hell up and listen.
I agree 100%. But once a culture is found in a spot of a team that already hates the owner is now gone. I think they're now owned by Magic Johnson and his team.
Yeah, and a crew, yeah.
So like it's a full blown rebuild of like everything that's going on. That's a lot. I mean, like you don't think that
that part will be okay.
Top to, you think so? So yeah, all right. So where you got it, bro? Because I don't know. Like I know they were better.
I still got them at like the 6-7 range. I still got them 6-7 range. So
I didn't mean to put them there. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know if I like. Do I think they're better than the Browns? That's what I'm determined by. Do I think they're better than the Browns?
And the problem for us with the Browns is we didn't really see them fully in a full season together. So that's kind of hard to even placing them. We're placing them based off of what we know the quarterback was before all the drama.
Yeah.
And that's what a team that is not fully stacked anyway. So.
Yeah. Do we think they're better than the Bears? We saw the Bears, basically. I mean, they got a couple new weapons. Do we think they're better than the Bears?
And that's the thing where that's when you start comparing the quarterbacks. So as of right now, I'm gonna have to put the Bears above them because I don't know what Sam's gonna bring to the table.
I'll put them at 7-9. I'm cool with that. I gave him a really low record when I did my predictions, and I even said at the end I already got a bunch of hate about it. And
Yeah.
look, I said at the end, I thought they were looking between 6 to 8 wins. Is kind of what I was thinking. I think I had them at 5, which is like too low. But I think
I was like I said,
I
I was
think
thinking 6 as
wins.
well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be too pushed off with 6, to be honest.
Now, the other Nate, not to get confused with you, Nate Brisky, he didn't get to join us today. He's probably taking care of the children. But we got
Hmm.
our Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills are a team we've been putting really high, but they keep dropping the bag. We've had some issues between Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. All that seems to be washed out. They need to work on the offensive line, and their thought that their defense was really good 2 years ago has came to life that it's not as good as what they thought, especially in the AFC. They won what 13 games last year, 14 games last year. They won a lot,
They won 13, I believe. Yeah, 13-3.
or 13-4.
Well, it says 13-3.
They tie a game.
Wasn't that the one game that Oboy got injured?
Oh, yeah, they canceled. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
That's right. Okay. So, where do we think they are this year? Do you think they still like hold on top the reins of like what they're doing now, being in a harder division? I mean, I still think they're a 10 and 13 win team, but I don't think they're a 14-17 win team like I thought last year.
I don't think 14 and 17, 14 or 17 wins. I don't think that I can say 10 to 13 range. I mean, they lost some pieces, you know, Singletary, Edmonds, McKenzie, uh, Crowder. Like they lost some pieces. Tight end Sweeney. They lost some actual pieces that were actively playing last year,
Yeah.
and were a big part of the scheme. So, and even I don't know if we. I know Nate. This is your team, and we've all actually rooted for this team
Oh
to
yeah.
win.
I'm still riding with the Bills. I hope they win, bro. I really do. But
But the 13, I don't see it right now because I don't
no,
know if I
either.
can trust them to be there.
I think
So
11. I think 11 to 12 is like kind of where I'm at.
I'm even putting them behind the Ravens.
I'm cool with that. And if Burrow was healthy, I think I'd put him behind them. If
Yeah.
Burrow was healthy, I will put him between because we know right now Burrow is probably going to miss a couple weeks.
Hmm.
So I'm 100% cool with that.
Yeah.
Nate Briss said, "Who wins? Washington versus New York Jets versus, or Washington versus Jets versus Seattle versus Broncos? Jets beat Washington. Seattle, Washington, I think can go either way depending on what Geno we get. I think Broncos beat Washington. Between Bengals and Lions, you think it's behind Bengals? I'm gonna put them. I'm gonna put them above Bengals just because of Joe Burrow being hurt. At least the first 2 weeks. But yeah, no, you're that. I mean, that's pretty on point, man. Uh, but I mean, this is the record we got. I mean, this is what we're looking at. We're looking at right now, and like these things change, but I think KC is still the dominant force. I could see either of these three teams here taking over that number one spot in the AFC if it were to work out that way. I think
Hmm.
Lions falls second to wherever there is, and one of these teams is going to be a really or second or third, and then one of these teams is going to get a really high placement. Um, Eagles running the NFC. San Fran, I could see San Fran having a drop, but like just because I don't like just they win games, so like it's hard to put them any lower. But I don't like I could see other teams just out skilling them. I guess if that makes sense. I don't know. I just don't feel like San Fran's a powerhouse team. It's just because they play old school football, so like it's really hard to like see them being dominant because it's not like they're gonna run the score up on you. They're just gonna win.
Yeah.
That puts was that Vikings and Lions fighting for that second spot in the NFC. I think Saints win the division in the NFC South. I think one of these teams is going to slip into a wild. One of these three teams is going to slip into a wild, or two of these three teams. Now that is two, is going to slip into the wild card for the AFC. I think the Seattle is going to go ahead and sneak in. Like I think this is a pretty. I think it's actually a pretty damn good little tier list. Our last tier list was horrible. This one actually like I think was actually pretty decent. Like I'm pretty confident in some of these guesses. Like probably the biggest ones I think that could change. I think Green Bay could sneak up into here. I think Panthers could possibly sneak up in here because their division is weak. I think Patriots stay here. I do think Raiders stay here. I just don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
I think they all stay here. I can see them maybe going up. Seattle maybe going up, but maybe it depends on the San Fran team. I think Saints is a good call. I think we still win the division with 9 wins. Chargers is no telling. Broncos I could see possibly going up, but I get your case. Steelers, I think they're right in here again. Giants right in here again. Right in here again. Falcons, I could see them switching with Carolina. Chicago, I'm pretty good with that 7-9. Washington, I don't know about, so I'm cool with keeping them there. Browns, I just don't know what Deshaun Watson we're gonna get.
Yeah.
I like this, bro.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm actually okay with it. I think a few teams in the 7 and 9, and maybe one or two in 10 and 13 will jump,
Yeah, flip
but it
flop
just
or jump.
depends. Yeah,
Yeah, I
it just
hear you.
depends. It's really, it's like every season. It all depends on injuries. If there's injuries or just disgruntled players, that can affect the entire team. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, guys, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for us today. Let me go ahead and switch to face to face. I appreciate you all for stopping by and staying tuned for this. This is a pretty long stream, a lot longer than what we normally do these. We try to get these wrapped up in like an hour or two, but we've had some good conversations, so and a lot of bathroom breaks, so we extended it out. Appreciate you all for being here. I did drop the fantasy football link down below if you haven't had a chance to join. I know for sure we have 2 more spots. It might be down to 1 now. If you have any questions about that, feel free to message me or message us on our social media. Instagram is by far the easiest way, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop those social links below. And even if you don't need a message, go follow us on those links as well. Go follow us on our Twitter, now known as X, as well as TikTok and Instagram. We do post some different content on those throughout the NFL season. We want to be a lot more active on those as we get there. For those that are new, Nate especially, we go live during Monday and Thursday night football. We do live play-by-play. Obviously, we don't show the game, but we do scores and we do play. We talk about it. We talk about BS, and we kind of go through the different things that go on. We're hoping to have some debate shows and some different things like that coming up. This is a channel that's growing, expanding. We do reactions. It's a lot of great things that go on here. We're trying to still find our niche and where we fit in this YouTube world and where we can bring the best things possible for y'all. But this is a channel that's going to continue growing each and every year. I promise you. We went from last year at what, 500 subscribers last year at the start of the NFL season, and now we're at 3687. I haven't updated yet, but I think we're at 3687. We're going to continue to grow and bring y'all some more content. We got more equipment to be able to do live videos and some live interactions with fans and stuff like that. So please stay tuned, man. We really appreciate and love you guys for checking us out.
Oh yeah.
You got any closing words, Nam, before we hop out of here?
Like you said, for the newbies, please, we have a lot of edited content. Check it out. Comment on it.
Yes.
Like the videos. You know what I'm saying? So we go live for Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football. We do NBA games. We did some baseball this year. We're going to do more events. We did NRL. We're gonna do some more events. We're looking to do like some cricket. We're looking to do some other stuff. But if there's anything that you think you would want us to try to do as far as a live stream, please message us or leave a comment on a video, and we'll try our best to try to accommodate those you guys. Period. But please, once again, just check out the content. We do a lot of really fun videos, really good videos, and you might learn a thing or two about some sports you've never seen before.
Oh yeah. I mean, we're real fan of sports, man. We're real fans. We love our sports. We love all sports, and that's what we try to give y'all. We try to learn about every sport. We love anything that has competition in it and that's what we try to express and try to understand and learn these different elements of the game, man. So I really appreciate all y'all that have stopped by. Hope y'all enjoy. If y'all hadn't voted in the poll, please vote in the poll before we close things out. We'll give y'all 5 seconds. Also, hit that that like button if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you really enjoy this content, hit that notification bell as well. That way you'll know every time we go live, when we post videos, when we post shorts, and all those good things. Now, what's our poll look like?
I'll say it like this. Just check out the videos. We're at over 1 million views, and it's not for no reason.
Yeah,
I'll say it like that.
I like that.
As far as the poll we had 20 votes. Yeah, 80% was. It was most of this is a poll for did you like the stream already? So it wasn't really a questionnaire, and 80% said yep, and some people said oops, I forgot. But appreciate you guys for being here. We truly appreciate each and every one of you. My name is Nonpfixion. It's my co-host Zach. Man, we just come through, spend some time with us, get to know us, and we'll get to know you as well. Questions, comments, concerns. Don't be afraid to ask questions down below. We don't bite. We don't. You know what I'm saying? We're pretty.
Yeah.
We're fans. We're fans of sports. That's what we call ourselves, fanless. We're not like your Stephen A's or your Max Kellermans out there, but we have some knowledge about sports. But we also want to have fun and just incorporate all fans of all sports.
That's facts, man.
Yeah.
Well, we're out here, guys. Cheers.
Peace out.